incredibly impractical and unnecessary.
Didn't they improve it in the second game? It was like,
Yes.
no, you don't need to cut your finger anymore.
Vinci figured
Still
it
not
out,
Da
yeah.
Vinci.
Ultra Da Vinci. No, we're not going to amputate you. We're just going to give you this retractable sword in your arm.
Did Shad do a video on the Hidden Blade? Did Shadiversity do a video on it?
I know someone did, but I don't know. Actually, yeah, it was Shad. Yeah, he did one as well. Actually, the other guy, the Skullgrim, did with the
Skullgrim.
Yeah, he did one with the daggers. Just use a dagger. Just don't worry about this stupid blade bullshit. Ooh, what was that?
No, I don't know.
Sorry, that was me. I had a video on it. Sorry.
All right. Well, let's get started, gentlemen. Thanks for coming in. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to be doing Smudcast number 143 on Liana K. If you don't know Liana K, she is obviously a gamer. She is a YouTuber, and she likes to ramble on about, well, we're not sure yet. We're going to watch one because I haven't really watched most of her videos over the years to know what she talks about. I do know some of her videos were kind of not so good. And that's why we took them off the docket. We said this is not worthy of... We don't want to bash someone for the sake of it because it's like 40, 50 minutes of like, ugh, with philosophical rambling. So
we can do that at our own time.
Yeah, if you guys want to peruse her stuff, go for it. I think she's wizened up this year. I think her stuff is a lot better this year. And this is like, what is this, a few months old? It's August the 31st. Okay.
Still this year, Smud.
Yeah.
I know it's been a long one.
Right. I know.
Yeah, it seems like forever.
Anyway, I'm going to introduce everyone, and we're going to get started. So thanks, everyone, for coming. We have Dollface on the left-hand side here. Next to you is Roan Harushin. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sarcastic Huck, as always. Hello.
Hello. Yep. Hello.
We have Shiny, as always. There's Toasty Danny next to me.
Perfectly in the middle.
Hello there.
It's perfectly balanced.
And we have Zach. Hi, Zach.
I should.
Hello.
Hey. Okay. Great. So this is a 30-minute video. This is going to take some time. She says some pretty far out there stuff, and you guys are going to be sitting there going, "What?" And then we're going to talk about half an hour.
I've seen the first 5 minutes of this video, and yeah, we're going to be pausing a lot.
So if you guys are up for some rambling about input devices and gender identity, here we go, because it gets wild.
I'm ready to
Hey everybody, welcome to Monday. Okay, so I'm going to tackle a complicated subject, and I'm going to use game design terms. I'm going to use gamer terms to try to explain it. I'm going to use the common language of gamers. We're all the same that way, to try to explain something that confuses the hell out of a lot of people.
Speaking as a
If you like
gamer,
this sort of content, help support this channel because
So she's trying to use gamer terms to describe gender identity.
No, we don't know what she's going to talk about. Don't assume.
it already
It
sounds so
says there in the
patronizing.
title.
That's subjective.
She's already going with the Ben Mendelsohn approach from the Ready Player One scene, where he's like, "Oh, look, I know pop culture too. I can talk to your language like that."
I just really want her to clear her throat because every time she says something with a C or a K, it sounds like.
That's just an Eastern European thing. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
We
it. I'm
have
going to
fought
shoot
with
myself in the face and I'm never have to suffer through
Just
this.
don't worry about it.
become a monthly patron, patreon.com/Liana K. If every person who watches one of my videos, the equivalent of once a week, gave $1 to
You'd have a
my
dollar.
Patreon,
It's $5.
My
Who doesn't have
bills
$5?
I could have to take on a lot less. I could look less harried. My hair could actually
Oh my
be
God.
dry in videos. Just
You'd-
saying.
what?
No
You'd
longer
look a lot
can't
less
'cause of COVID.
hairy,
But
okay.
if you can
Not
because
too
of
bad.
COVID, become a patron for the people who can't.
It's called personal
What
hygiene.
is this?
Just do it anyway.
Everyone watching this video gave me $1 a week, not even a month, because Patreon is monthly, at least a lot of the time. You can set it so it's per video you release, but people can set a limit to how much they can donate to you.
So,
But it's strange that you said if everyone watching this video donated $1 per week, my hair could be a little bit better. Okay.
It's like, I have an idea.
Priorities,
Sell some of that
priorities.
fucking merchandise behind your head. Like,
Yeah.
How many videos?
if you're
or how many
if you're to the
views do you
point
have?
where you need to beg on videos for people to sub to your Patreon,
It's so awkward as well.
Especially in one part of the video before you've
2,000
done
views.
anything.
So she's asking for $2,000
So-
dollars.
it would be one thing if she was like asking friends for like, hey, I'm in a bad way, I need some money, I haven't paid my water bill in 3 months, I haven't
Please clap.
yeah, it'd be one thing.
By all means,
This
like
is her
plug your
YouTube
Patreon.
channel.
You need to make money off your channel because obviously
Yeah.
people do sink money and it is just become a lot of people's livelihoods. But she's going about it so awkwardly. Like you can re-record this and say it in a much better way rather than being extremely awkward.
But we can probably get
if-
a lot of money for that ET back there.
Yeah.
Also, is that a thing of Colgate just below the little Phantom Man?
I can't tell.
Is that
I think
yes,
so.
yes.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
that is Colgate.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's
Well,
interesting.
she can't like stop being hairy because people don't donate money for some
Also-
reason.
She
Also,
can't get better
her
hair
paintings
products.
or her pictures on the wall.
Oh
are
no, the
crooked.
hair product.
Shiny, you're not attractive
What
enough.
shall she
Here's
ever do
$5.
without her hair product?
I want you to get a haircut,
probably-
you dirty beast. You. Also,
The pictures
take
on
a
the wall
shower.
are crooked. Every one of you will not be able to unsee that.
Oh, thanks, Zach. Thank you for
Oh,
that.
Well,
yeah, now
that's
I've
what
noticed
I'm
it.
here for.
And they're crooked in different ways as well.
Yeah. There's no.
They're not equally crooked. It's a problem.
Yeah. Can,
Does she
can I just
watch
say,
The
you know,
Rise
if
of
you...
Skywalker? Does she know which way is up?
Uh-oh.
No,
That was
her,
crap,
like,
Zach.
what is it, her like satellite thing is broken, so she
I'll
doesn't know
just-
which way is up.
I'll just
got-
leave now. Bye-bye.
All right,
I've,
that's
got,
enough.
I've actually got a way to solve her problem with her hair. Right?
Do you?
If it's so bad, just don't show your face.
Oh, there you go.
Simple. Solved. No need to donate. No need for a patron. Solved.
Yeah. Just take the shiny
Perfect.
route. Be a clone.
Just become a VTuber.
Yeah.
Just be a
Get a
clone.
helmet and this solves the problem.
For about £12, you can get a software which allows you to create a virtual camera with avatars. I forgot what it's called now.
There we go.
Fuck, it's on Steam. But yeah, you can do that for about £12 and become a VTuber.
We'll
and I think
pay
that's what a lot
her.
of VTubers
We will
usually
pay
do.
her every month for her to become a VTuber, so you shouldn't have to bitch about her
Yeah.
hair.
Wait. Pokemon already
Yeah.
tried to do that, and that got her bad reaction.
I'm not donating unless it doesn't include bad water. That's all I'm saying.
I just like the fact that her opening thing is, "Please give me $1. I need to sort my hair out." Great
Like, not
start to a
rent,
video.
not
You guys are
water,
being
just
bigots.
hair.
You guys are just
Just hair.
bigots
Why?
that don't
That's
want
the
to
reason
pay
why
the
we need to
gender
pay so much
identity
money.
people.
We're just
Yeah,
assuming that. Come on.
Zach,
Wait,
you're
wait,
100%
yeah.
correct. You're 100% correct.
Exactly.
You don't want to pay for the genders, you bigots, and you all need to go to the horny jail of Twitter.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've meandered on this wonderful outburst of hers. We're fine. We can keep going, guys.
No, I
Yeah.
want to talk about her hair more.
No,
No, I
I
don't.
don't want to talk about her hair. Well, let's continue.
I want to talk about her
I'm just trying to
crooked ass
bring more
paintings and that
rar
weird ass shelf behind her.
on my Patreon because I've been told I need to work on that. So, the video today.
Make better
We've been
videos.
talking
People
a
pay more
lot
money.
That's an
about
odd pause.
gender identity,
no, we haven't.
not
Have
gender.
we?
Gender identity.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
what's the difference there?
Okay.
Gender. Gender
real.
can be
Carry on.
described as something
Could
you
have
are,
edited that
or
out.
something you do. There's a lot of different
Something
theories
you do.
of gender.
It's
over
so
Theories.
complicated, guys.
as well as the theories of
It's
It's
so
something you do.
difficult to
biological
understand.
sex over the years. And none of them quite do what they need to because they didn't contain this idea of gender identity.
What? Why?
Ah,
And
so
it's like, what's
so
the difference?
a lot of things.
Basically,
one science,
think
one
of it as-
delusions.
gender is the way the world sees you. You look at me, you see a woman.
No, that's not
and
what
I
gender
do
is.
certain things to make it easier for people to make that association.
Okay, so no.
Yeah.
Gender's
lot
not
of-
how the world sees you. That's not what.
The world's a giant rock. It doesn't see anything.
I know they've
Yeah,
redefined
so-
sex to mean genitals and gender to be what you identify as, but even using those terms, gender would still be what you identify as, and not how the world sees you.
Yeah.
Using their retarded
That's
fucking
the main
language.
issue, is that
Yeah.
gender is just what you identify as. But coming from a source of authority, my trans friend, I know appeal to authority, but whatever, fuck it. It's just what you identify as, and just because you haven't even started the transition process, you can still ask people to respect that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But the getting in a hubbub about it is not helping anything. And if somebody just misgenders you, and you correct them politely, and then they keep doing it, yeah, the person's probably a dick. Just don't hang out with them. That's fine. You can just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody else. That person clearly doesn't respect you very much.
I mean, you could be
Well,
completely deluded.
I always try and be respectful towards, people who want to be called a different gender. But even when covering someone like Jesse gender, it's really difficult to always call them the right pronouns, or even was it a Patricia Taxon? Because Taxon obviously has it's
Male features.
yes, and the voice is more masculine. So every time you want to talk about them,
fine.
you want to say man, but also it just becomes a lot more difficult to always do it. And I even though I'm trying to be respectful
There's
all
always
the
a
time in
slip.
the video, it'll still be
There's
difficult.
always a slip. There's always the slip. You will always end up at some point calling a she a he, or a he a she. It just happens sometimes, and you'll stop and go. I don't.
And there's a difference between malicious intent and just a fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Eric. I mean, Patricia. Fuck. Sorry. Like, it's fine. You can fuck up just as long as you don't make it a malicious
Message coming in.
action. Anyway,
I've referred to Zach as a she before on a Sloppy Seconds podcast for some weird reasons. I don't know.
you were accurate. I'm a layman. I'll identify as a woman for this podcast so that you can get that representation points. And
Zach, he's usually right. Yeah.
Mostly from me.
I'll give you the dishwasher pass for this episode.
So here's 2Tim505. I'm watching the Game Awards. If Doom Guy gets in Smash, I'll die. What? Doom Guy? Who the heck is going to put Doom Guy in a Nintendo game?
Well, I mean, they already got Steve from Minecraft.
I need this.
So why would?
They already made a crossover with Animal Crossing, so why not?
Oh.
I'm just imagining Mario just exploding in bloody bits.
As long as they have the Doom music from Doom 1.
This needs to happen.
Like, that'd be awesome. Holy jeez. Shotgunning everyone? Holy crap.
That's his
Isabel and Doom Guy teaming up on people. That's just perfect.
Yes.
I suppose the BFG would be the final Smash, I suppose.
Yeah.
Ooh. The super shorty.
Well,
Well,
or maybe the icon of sin.
Yeah.
Like wearing makeup, and having a cute
maybe if she didn't
hairstyle.
spend so much money
Now,
on
if you took that away
I don't know,
and looked
fan
at my
stuff,
background,
maybe she'd be able to
If you
afford
took
better
me
hair
out of it,
product.
and looked at my background,
Yeah, it looks like
a lot
some
of
of that
people
is.
would assume that's a guy, right?
Would
Doesn't
we?
look
Would
like
we?
a woman.
This is what kind of confused me, because she said, like, if you would cover her face and
think
you look at her background, I assume like her back.
No, I think she means like if you're looking at the kind of stuff she has, that you would assume the people that the person that owns this stuff would be more likely to be a guy, I guess.
I'd assume it was a woman, because no bloke would leave Colgate out. In the living room.
Oh, I was going for the minion in the upper left.
Yeah, that's what I was to say. The freaking minion is freaking me out.
Dude, that minion has seen some shit. You don't want to know what has gone on in this room.
Oh no.
Oh, Zach, no. This is a family.
I didn't
show.
say anything. I'm just saying you
It's
don't
about
want to know.
family.
Now I feel sorry for Iron Giant back there.
Yeah, they got the Mog there
Iron Boy Jr.
from Final Fantasy. They got the what is that toy from the NES with the? It's right next to
Rob the
Mog.
Robot.
That one. Yeah.
Rob the Robot. Yeah. There's Luigi, I think, above.
Yeah,
there.
that one. Sure.
It's not.
Oh, there's the aliens from Toy Story above them. There's a Vault Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the geek memorabilia, it's like very normie geek memorabilia.
Nowadays, yeah, but
Yeah.
maybe 20
Like
years
we
ago.
got
0 out of
E.T., Minions,
Sure.
also Iron Giant. A lot of it very normie
fuck this
stuff.
lady. She needs to organize her bookshelf. Look at that garbage.
That's a bit
Wait,
odd.
you
Yeah.
put books
No?
on bookshelves?
Nobody? Look at her bookshelf. Look at the look just below her left arm. Well, her right stage right arm.
Mhm.
That bookshelf is a mess.
So
Exactly.
you're telling me
No,
you're supposed to put
just
books
me?
on a bookshelf?
So we're not saying
There books?
Right, but it's a mess.
We're
It's not.
Yeah, but
it doesn't seem organized.
when we look at her background, we don't see a girl or a boy. We see a really messy person.
It's a room.
Yeah, we see
Also,
a
is
disgrace.
that a sheep plushie?
A what?
Yes.
Where?
Just below the minion in the top left.
Isn't
Mog.
that?
I thought that was
it's-
Camtaro.
That is.
I think I've seen that in Kingdom Hearts. I'm pretty sure.
A Moogle?
It's a movie.
Yeah, or Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Final Fantasy maybe.
And then Kingdom Hearts took it like they take everything else.
Question: is that picture Super Grover in the? That's the
Yes,
one
it
with
is.
the black
Oh,
background.
that yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, this is definitely not a bloke's room. I'm just gonna.
Also, E.T. has the biggest rape face right now. It's unnerving.
Hence why you don't ask the minion what goes on in this room.
It's very unnerving.
But like what Smud said, it's just a messy background. We wouldn't be able to tell what gender of person lived there. We'd all be going, "This is a fucking mess." It's tidy
Rooms
up.
don't
It's
have
random,
genders.
Yeah, we really need to
Yeah.
get like Queer Eye in here to spice up the room a bit.
I mean, you could
Yeah.
take a guess,
You don't
but I
ask
don't
the
think
chick.
it's that like stereotypical male.
It's not.
I
It's
guess.
not. It's not a It's not a gender identity.
I'm sure you could think
a
of
messy
stuff.
room.
I'm sure you could think of stuff that would be in a room that might be like. You could probably do some statistical analysis of like guys have
Yeah.
this in the rooms
The
more
best
often.
thing-
Obviously, if you have a
Yeah.
clean room, your gender identity is Jordan Peterson.
Oh dear. Well, the closest thing I could see is the Alex Ross painting, but that's, I mean, you would typically
Yeah.
associate comics with male people buying them, but Alex Ross does beautiful artwork, so maybe she just liked it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
It's not Bob Ross. I don't want it.
it's not.
It's not hung correctly, but hey ho.
All right.
Background. That's how gender works.
What?
No, it's
It's
not.
kinda
No,
boring.
it's not. No, no,
Just say.
no. You are wrong. Wrong.
Okay,
Oh.
so we've played about 5 seconds more of the video.
A
That
messy
was
a messy
a wrong
background
statement.
is how gender identity works.
I think we
No.
just established
Moving on.
her background could be
Gender
anything.
that room based on a messy room.
I feel like we just skipped 5 minutes of the video, and it's just like, oh, and that's
Okay,
it.
so I'm gonna take it back to the 2-minute
okay.
mark, and let's try to get some more context.
Yeah.
Cutesy poo hairstyle. Now, if you took that away and looked at my background, like if you took me out of it and looked at my background,
Okay.
a lot of people would assume that's a guy.
Fine.
So that's a pretty big. That's a wild assumption.
That's her-
I've seen no
that
white
people
so
would
no, I
assume
don't-
that.
But
That's-
even then, so what?
That's
Like,
her
so what if
opinion.
they did? Like,
Yeah, that's
just-
fine.
No, she's
Worst case
explaining.
scenario
No, she's
they're
explaining
just
that
wrong. Like,
gender
okay.
identity works based on what society
People
assigns
say.
you. And the example she used is if you take her away out of that picture, you would assume it's a boy's bedroom.
This
It's
is like-
not. I mean, she's wrong.
But even
But-
if people did that, like, so what if they did? Like, worst case
Yeah,
scenario,
but
okay,
that's
they're
not.
just wrong.
Yeah, but
And then
yeah, but
they're
also-
okay,
if we think it's a bloke and it turns out it's actually a woman, okay, I got it wrong. That's my
exactly. It's not
identity.
the end of the world. It's like
no, that's not your gender identity. It's just me getting wrong. It's a flip of a coin. Head or tails.
50-50. If you're a tomboy and you have more masculine features and I don't know, you like more masculine things, that doesn't change your gender identity all of a sudden.
It might change the perception of you. Like, say, if you have more masculine
it changes
features,
your perception.
you're wearing tomboy
because a lot of things
clothes.
change perception.
And I'd be like, hey, sir, where is the
identity.
Jamba Juice around here? And you're like, actually, I'm a woman. I'd be like, okay, ma'am, where's the Jamba Juice? Like,
Yeah.
I just never heard this argument before. Like,
it's very odd, and
I have a very important question. What the fuck is Jamba Juice? Because I saw it at Denver Airport. I don't know what it is.
It's just a smoothie shop, and it was the first thing that popped in my head.
Okay. Thank you for clearing it up. Very important question.
Okay, no problem, man. I'm here for you.
And
everything. I'm very supportive of you in your clone ways.
Also, can I just say something? You know, if you're going to say, imagine me out of the picture, don't cover your face while you're talking, because it's... like, muffles and stuff. Yeah. Sorry, what?
I think she's just using her headset mic.
Yes, she is.
She is.
It's still crap.
If I may weigh in.
Well, then she's just shoving a headset mic into her face.
Yeah, which is still rubbish.
Anyway.
Right?
Her eyebrows are freaking me out.
Doesn't look like a quote-unquote woman's background. That's how gender works. Which is kind of bullshit, right?
It's not
bullshit. I agree.
You're right. You're 100% correct.
Like,
it is
this
bullshit. Everything you just said is bullshit. Yeah.
Makeup and soft hair. Behind me is a totally different gender performance.
What?
That's not gender performance. That's just your inability.
This looks like a really standard geeky room. Like, I had no idea why would that
No,
be.
it looks like a normie geeky room.
No, this looks like a set for a geeky YouTube channel. That's what it looks like.
Yes, actually, yeah.
She set this up.
That's the best description. Because it is just, again, with really geeky shit.
Yeah. It's...
Like,
if she was not a YouTuber,
for the sake
she
of
would not.
geeky shit.
She would not make a room like that. If she was not a YouTuber and had the camera there, she would not have her room like that at all. It is just literally, I'm on YouTube.
Yeah.
I need to have geeky stuff in the background.
Do you think it's just So it's just that wall that has all the stuff. The whole rest of the room is completely
100%.
No, the whole rest of the house. The whole rest of the house is just empty. She's that desperate for like $1. It's just like all there is like just another chair, like a picnic chair, just another room where she eats her food. And that's it.
Also, I want to bring up a point that Shiny made earlier, that you need to make money off of your channel. Yeah, that's the ultimate dream. But to have a channel that you've sunk everything into and not have like a day job is, you're going to have a rough time.
Yeah, don't quit your day job, guys. Before you transition. You got to go from one to the other, not cold turkey, okay?
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
That's how gender works. That's how the performative theory of gender works.
Okay, fine.
Which is
the
different
performative
from gender being a social construct, which we now know is wrong.
So fake, then.
Gender identity is inherent in the brain. There isn't.
What?
It isn't all socially constructed.
Okay, fine.
We recognize that there are differences between.
She just completely changed her position.
Massive subcategory of men, massive subcategory of women, right?
Yeah, that's called
now,
genders.
what those differences are determined by society. Is it just a question of anatomy, or is it just or is it social role? Like,
what do you mean social role?
Okay, is he saying like nature versus nurture? Like,
she's saying it's
like,
both.
Yeah, it's a bit of both, and how much?
Are we gonna get like the T1J thing of it could be A, it could be B, it could be both, it could be
yes.
And you just end up going, so what's this 30-minute video about again?
We're going to discuss this topic.
We're 3 minutes in and she finally is on the right track of a point.
Is she though? I feel like she just kind of said, well, it could be this, it could be that.
Completely flip-flopped her opinion.
It's all up to the viewer, guys.
It's also
This is not scripted, and a video like this needs to be scripted because she's just ranting.
Yeah.
yes.
I think she even at one point looked at.
I'm going to come on to these Smudcasts with like a bong or something, just to get into the same mindset of some of these video creators, because they are smoking something before they film.
I think it's their
That is racist.
I think it's just their intro. I think I understand what she's saying, so it makes sense to me. It's just how she got there was a little backwards. That's okay. We can.
No, but she's still saying gender is based on what society assigns to you.
Yeah, but currently she just said it's largely also innate, and it's also what nature nurture. So it's a little bit of both, and that's fine. You can say that.
Yeah, she's right on that element, but she's ranting about it and then going off the establishment of what gender is being. A gender identity is what is assigned to you.
All right, well, let's just keep going, because she isn't getting to the point of her video yet. She's just talking about gender as a whole, and it's like, that's fine. We get it. We know what gender is. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Like indigenous myths say when a person is created, their soul is asked to choose between the bow and the basket. The bow being masculine, the basket being feminine, and a lot of people would be, wait a minute.
Is it?
Why can't the woman be the bow?
Okay.
Well.
Okay, so she's talking about hunting and gathering. That's
what? I tuned out for 5 seconds. I'm already lost.
So she said bow and basket. That's hunter and gatherer, at least in my brain.
Yeah.
What in the goddamn?
It's
fine.
Okay. But a religious belief is not scientific.
That's true.
Because a society believed that before you were born, you had a choice in your gender. It doesn't mean it's true. Because we can look at genetics and we can say, oh, well, it's decided before you're even born. It's decided the moment of conception.
Yeah, it seems very flimsy. This your soul decides whether bow or basket. I'm like, what is this, like Saturday night round the teepee? I don't have time.
It just seems a nonsense.
We're not talking about any kind of religion here.
Yeah, exactly. But like when people start mentioning about the soul, I'm like, people can easily disagree with that by just saying I don't believe in a soul or something like that. So like where Shiny comes from, there's science that we have to look at. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think
so we can actually prove and look at, rather than something which is just, oh, well, this belief says that we choose our gender before birth. Ooh.
The Aztecs used to kill people so the sun would rise. You know, we've had some very strange beliefs. You know.
This is the indigenous creation myth. The idea is that sometimes the creator goes bow, basket, pick, and as the soul is reaching for their choice, the creator switches hands. So someone might have
your creator's a bit of a dick then.
The basket.
I don't believe in a creator. So
your argument is that the creator said, so you choose a gender, and then the creator says, oh, well, I'm going to make you the opposite gender. Well, not only does that make your creator a bit of a dick,
it sounds like God is playing.
What does this have to do with what? Anything? I don't.
Okay, this religion and what it believes is in no way scientific, as we can prove.
Sorry.
Again, your gender is chosen before birth.
Right.
You're not a gender and then you before birth and then you choose your gender, but then it's been swapped before you've been born. That's not how it works.
The myth of the Native American, if we're talking about Canadian Native American, I don't know which tribe, that this is what they believe. And she's just describing that. So I'm sure they've had multiple men with feminine qualities and women with masculine qualities. I think that's where we're going. So it's just a myth. It's not real.
Okay.
Yeah, but they had to. But obviously, when you think about that, they had to find some explanation for it. So they obviously went, well, it must be a religious thing or a spirit thing. While we in the 21st century, who have a lot more technology than what the Native Canadian Native Canadians had hundreds of years ago.
You don't know that. That's your
say
opinion.
They
could have been super advanced.
Wow.
I rather doubt that. The French one up in Canada. They weren't that advanced.
Colonialist systems of institutionalism.
Yeah, but like,
why couldn't Eskimos have spaceships?
Yeah, true. But my point is, you're taking an idea from people who had no other way to describe things other than
message coming in.
Oh, it must be to do with the gods or something. While now we can do what Shiny says, science and tests.
Yeah, let's see where she's going with this.
Yeah, isn't all of the reason behind why people change genders, like things like gender dysphoria?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that that's gatekeeping. That if you say that they have to have gender dysphoria to be trans, that's gatekeeping.
Yeah. Oh God. There's always something new. I'm sure.
It's
anyway. Let's
keep
going.
Whatever they want.
Because we haven't gotten to the main argument yet. Okay. All right. Tim 505. Sonic is getting a Netflix show. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Isaiah.
He's gotta go fast.
When did gender and sex become the same? Can we go back, please? No one's stopping you, buddy. No one is stopping you. You can go right ahead and do that.
No.
We need to start over.
What we do here is go back.
The only person to stop you is probably wanting $1 for her patron.
Oh yes.
And she's desperate for that.
$5 for her.
$1 to save the hair.
Yeah. She's not getting away with that.
This is how some indigenous myths explain what they call two-spirit. Do not use the term unless you're an indigenous person, because the term
my God.
Shut your fucking mouth, stupid asshole.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say the two words. Two-spirit. Oh, I did it.
Can I just say she used the word myths as evidence of stuff, and I'm like, no, myths are usually false. That's why they're called myth.
They're to explain what they can't explain because they didn't have science back then.
How
they were myths about gods.
What little credibility you
I don't think there's a billion
years.
gods in the sky. At least we can't prove that there is.
If someone came up to me
not anymore. Kratos killed
sort of a thing and said, we've got to do this based on this myth, I'd be like, yeah, you just lost me completely with your argument because, you've just used a myth as evidence. So
I'm not sure why she's done this or started with this myth.
Yeah.
But fine. I still want to get what the title is all about. So let's just keep on going, okay?
Yeah. Sorry, Smud. We're very into this.
I know it's totally cool. I get it.
I'm a man. I have to tell her and how wrong she is. I have to mansplain. It's in my nature.
I know, Zach. It's okay. I'm okay with you.
As a shadow
is a catch-all term for
person, I need to tell her.
Indigenous peoples, they all have their own, but it is a renaming of the colonial term bardache, which is apparently a French slur for a male prostitute. I didn't know that's where bardache came from, it was a replacement term.
Smud, is it?
Because
Yes.
The definition says a homosexual male. That's at least what I found.
Yeah, but a slur, it's which means a slur. It's not the actual proper definition. It's a slur. It's like a slang take on it. So
yeah, but it's
a
homosexual male prostitute.
She's saying like Canadian natives only got their myths because of colonialism, or did I just mishear what she said?
No, that's she's making it similar to what happened during colonialism, where there's all these amalgamations of the Native Americans and the one tribes superseded the rest to survive, and they had to amalgamate and change their views. So it's also in America as well. So a little different.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just want to make sure that I hear her correctly with what point she's saying. No, that's fine. Okay.
I think the chat is complaining about audio levels. Or am I too loud?
You're fine.
Am I too loud, chat? Is my mic too loud?
Who is the loudest?
Mine might be. Let me turn it down.
Give me a number in the chat.
Too British?
From 1 to 7, and we'll figure out from there. counting from the left to the right. So 1 is... Who is 1? 1 is Dollface, 2 is...
Who's
one.
too loud?
2 is too loud?
And I said, who's too
Oh, I'm
loud?
sorry. Zach, can you please stop changing the channel icon? What are you doing? What is that?
Zach,
Trying to find the
Zach,
right
give over.
image.
Why?
Zach, we don't need the right image.
Zach is only trying to give it a neutral gender title.
I mean, I don't... No one can
While
see
you're
it
figuring
except
out
for...
audio levels, I'm trying to entertain
no one-
myself.
He's the progressive
No
one
one- No one can see this apart from us a lot.
Right. It's really just for me.
Oh,
have
dear.
we figured out who's too loud or who's too quiet? Or
Here's an interesting super chat. Shiny, I thought the guy to your left was you with the new pick when he was on a recent stream and you weren't. All Brits sound alike, I guess.
Oh,
Oh!
Hawk.
Oh, me. Oh, well, okay.
Well, Hawk, obviously we're the same person. I'm so fantastic at ventriloquism.
Yeah.
Don't you know that there are actually 2 clones in disguise?
2 spirits?
The irony is, me and Shani actually live quite close to each other, to be honest, in the grand scheme of things.
Both North Yorkshire.
So, real quick.
No,
just
I'm South Yorkshire, you're North Yorkshire. Well,
so
I'm Derbyshire.
Just to
but
fix the
let's
audio
not get
real
into
quick,
this again.
from left to right, just sound off with
But
a
I love
testing
how
1, 2,
someone-
3.
Hello, testing 1 2 3. Hello. Am I too loud?
You're found. You're
Am I
great.
about
You're
right?
Totally fine.
Okay, next.
who's next? I'll just say, hello, testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 3.
Sounds good.
Hey up, fuckwits.
Thank you, Shiny. That
Is that enough testing for you?
was fantastic. Thank you.
Okay.
Testing 1
Hello?
2 1 2. Testing.
Little bit cut off, but yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Zach is fine too. We're all good.
Yeah.
Hello?
Is the video too quiet?
Oh,
Is that what we're saying?
maybe.
I think someone said maybe
But
the
anyway, I love the fact that
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
thought Hawk was me.
Proton said 5.
We sound nothing alike. You're British and I'm British, so completely different.
Well, I'm British, but I'm
It's-
like Northern Ireland, so it's like completely different.
You know,
Yeah.
there are multiple times that like Americans have confused
I am
me with
lying.
other people from Yorkshire. I'm surprised how many people from Yorkshire I actually meet online in public groups. So
Yes.
when I meet them and there's other Americans always get me and them confused.
Yeah.
America.
But at least people remembered the bloke next to Shiny. Yay!
So the
But
volume
wouldn't
Volume
of,
of-
like
that
the
ladder.
icon give it away?
yeah. So
Yeah.
The
Why would I change to whatever the hell that is? My theme is being a clone.
Yeah,
so
but
my theme is
Hawk
being
perpetually sounds like he's talking through a helmet.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Anyway, the volume on the video we're watching is as high as it can get, so I can't do much about that. We can decrease all of our other volumes, but I'm not going to play around. We're as loud as we can get. If Liana is really hard to hear, I will change it, but I can hear her just fine. So if you guys can't, tell me in chat. We'll fix it soon, but we're going to keep going, okay?
The French colonists in Canada put a slur on the fact that Indigenous people recognized non-binary, non-cisgender gender identities. So it's the
Fucking
Okay, first,
Canadians.
Bardash is not a reference to, as far as I know, it's not a reference to a guy who's dressing up as a girl. It's a guy who's homosexual and is a male prostitute, okay?
Yeah.
Like jiggle.
No, but Canadians, they're just so anti-native.
Well, the story of
God.
Montreal is interesting. So all the lovely ladies come from Montreal for a good reason, because they imported all their.
How does that relate to Balderdash?
They imported all their women.
Because all the great ladies of Canada come from Montreal. In case you don't know, if you ever want a trip to somewhere nice and freezing, and you want to be surrounded by beautiful ladies that will want to talk to you for the sake of simply entering the room, go to Montreal. And not for the reasons you think, but just because they're nice people, and the culture there is very different. So.
I don't want to go to Montreal.
Oh, you should. You totally should.
Sounds great, man. Of the ice.
My friend moved to Montreal last year.
Lovely.
So yeah, he says he lives in a little secluded place. Yeah, he went to work for the Home Office of Canada. So yeah,
the Home Office of the country. I've never heard of that, but okay, cool.
Well, like your version of the Home Office, like in Britain, it's the Home Office. I don't know what the Canadians call it, but that's how he described it to me. It's like deals with immigration and everything.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
It's men who feel like women, women who feel like men, men who feel like men, women who feel like women, and then.
What if they're just men who are attracted to men? What if, yeah, if you're homosexual, you don't feel like a woman. You feel like a man. You just happens to be attracted to men.
Mm-hmm.
You could feel like a woman. I don't know.
My question is, what's the slur for just men who want to feel women?
Oh, that's just men. Dicks. Men who are dicks.
Yeah.
That's Movie Bob, I think that's the
Movie Bob's the slur from. Oh dear.
the slur for men.
Oh,
Terrible slur.
Oh, don't talk to him. He's a movie Bob.
Oh no, that's
and everyone just shovels across the bar away from him.
It just made every person named Bob feel really terrible.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like there wouldn't be any room to move away from. He just absorbs the room.
Okay, what the people who are pinned against like the windows, they go and move away from him.
No, you can't get away because of the gravitational pull.
Oh dear, Jesus Christ! What a pathetic
What a
way
character.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's get to our first point.
Yes.
Split round the middle. Nobody can choose. And the idea is that it was an inclusive system instead of an exclusive system. Anglo-European social systems.
Get a script, lady.
Have a lot of fundamentals.
It would make things so much easier if you had a script.
Or at least just edit your fucking video
out if they didn't comply. It was a conquest mentality. The term ostracism comes from the tendency for Athenian democracy to boot out undesirables, right? Drink hemlock.
I thought she was reaching for a script.
Right?
Nope, she was going for a drink. You could have edited this out. Please, for the love of God, something.
That was a really hot take on the death of Socrates. Jeez, I'm not going to...
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep going. I'm not going to let him.
I don't have anything to say.
I'm not going to jump into that one because yeah,
that was
drink hemlock or GTFO. I was like, what? That's not what happened.
Yeah, that's like to answer the short way. No. To answer in the long way. No.
Also no.
Yeah, so if you guys want to learn about the death of Socrates, there's about 3 or 4 books from Plato's Dialogues that talk about before, during, and after. Mm-hmm. So lots of detail around why he died and why he committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And Socrates, there's an example of Socrates' identity as an Athenian.
What?
Made him choose the hemlock instead of leaving, which most people go, that's insane. That's how identity works. That's how a strong group identity works.
No, it's not.
Right?
No, it's what? No,
that's what happens.
What?
With gender identity.
Is it?
What? A lot of people, I've used this explanation.
Socrates.
When are we forcing people who have gender identities to drink hemlock? What? Did I miss this meeting?
Yeah.
Did I miss this? Did I miss the memo for the Tuesday night meeting?
That memo either.
Gender identity, hemlock, or get the fuck out. Where is this coming from?
I don't think it's from Socrates. Gender identity, I don't know.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Why is it whenever gender identity or anything like that gets mentioned, there's always some form of horrific murder or go away? Why is that always what people go to straight away?
Because Jack the Ripper?
It seems like they just have a really way more restrictive view of. They think society's way more restrictive than it actually is.
When have you ever? I go down my street to my local shop, and I have never seen people go, "Oh, that's a gay guy over there. We're gonna have to make him force him to drink hemlock or get out." It's like that's never happened to me. I doubt she's ever seen that. I doubt anyone on this podcast has ever seen that happen.
All right, I don't
even know what the equivalent would even be. It seems like such a reach.
Maybe she's referring to the ancient world, how it was so strict. Maybe. I don't think the comparison to Socrates.
Yeah, but they were strict about a lot of other things as well.
Sure, that's true.
They were incredibly strict and kicked you out for other things.
Oh, yeah. And in ancient Greece and ancient Rome, they were pretty open with lots of stuff. So I think the problem with that, if I recall my Socrates, was that he was preaching stuff that went against the gods. They thought that he was preaching against the gods, and he angered one of the politicians. That's why they threw him in prison to await his trial, which they will eventually find him guilty. And instead of giving them what they wanted, because he would have died of old age eventually, he just took his own life on principle, which is like, okay, cool, that's fine. So, very different scenario with Socrates about why they condemned him to death. So,
but it just blows my mind that she's literally just gone gender identity, hemlock, or get out. I've never heard that sentence or that idea in my entire life.
I know,
and I've been on Twitter for 6 years.
Anywho, let's get through some super chats and try and get to her first argument. We haven't gotten to yet. Fran Madaraki, thank you. Movie Bob's fat folds. Why are we? I don't know. Swallowed up.
Oh God!
Movie Bob's fat folds swallowed up his genitals a long time ago, so no one truly knows what he's rocking down there. Thank you for that.
I mean, I'm sure they were microscopic to begin with.
Schrodinger's.
That nightmare fuel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I've been enlightened by Movie Bob's genitals. Thank you.
He swallowed those ever since Lindsay Ellis friend-zoned him.
Oh no!
I was going to say
That always makes me laugh.
No, Lindsay Ellis.
Lindsay Ellis friend.
All Lindsays have friend-zoned the Bob.
It wasn't really friend zone. It was more
creeping me out, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
It was like Broken Arrow. It was just bombing everything around.
She completely destroyed him.
Yeah.
Here's
it was fucking brutal. It was like, I love the meme. It was like, you can see the exact point his heart exploded.
And right there.
All right. Taker 610. E.T. is non-binary. Is he? I have no idea. Even aliens do it, guys.
He's an alien.
Yeah, he's an alien.
He's a fictional midget alien.
He can be
in a kids film. I did not care what he was shagging.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a midget height challenged alien.
It was an excuse to sell M&Ms, guys. That's all E.T. was.
He was a puppet. Oh well, I don't care.
He was also a terrible selling game that we had to dump into a dumpster fire and never speak of again.
Yeah,
that's a good point. What were we talking about? I can't remember.
Moving on.
Let's keep going.
You on super chats.
Fair enough. I figured out a way to explain it.
Oh God!
Did you? Why tell us that?
Gender identity is you in a video game, the player.
Oh,
Imagine gender roles are a user interface, a control schematic that allows you to play the game called life. Okay.
I thought the game was you.
Worst game ever.
Control schematics.
Put
Standard
the
shooter.
fucking
controller
controller
Halo schematic,
down.
right? Where primary attack gun.
How are you holding the controller?
But it's very like on a lot of games, it's very standard that one of the joysticks is like look
Move
around,
and look.
and the
One's
other one
movement,
is
one's
to
camera.
move.
Is
Yeah,
it
and
gonna
then
be like some
the
people
triggers
using
are going to be for weapons. Like the what is it? The button up there is like an auxiliary, and then you've got A, which is jump, X, which
A is the awesome button. It does awesome things.
Yeah, but the layout and the control scheme are very similar across a lot of
Wait a
games.
second.
Yes.
The awesome button is obviously the
So
man's
it's a very
penis, right? That's obvious. Like that's.
I mean, I thought.
Oh, the A's do everything.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're on the same page. All right.
Yes. I'm glad
I thought she was going to go the route of, okay, so you are your gender, and then the game is like what you are on the outside. So you can play a female character in a game, but you can be male playing that female character. And I would have somewhat understood that analogy, but then she took it to game controller layouts.
Also, if I'm
which
not
are pretty standardized.
And depending on the game, might be horrible control skills.
But also, if I'm not comfortable with my control scheme, what if I want to change it?
Yeah, control layout that can get changed.
I think that's where she's going with it.
Oh God, please no.
So you have to
But that's
wait
such a
until all of
terrible,
your friends also
analogy.
say that
Yeah.
it's a terrible layout, and then your friends have to decide what the layout should be, because that is gender performance.
To be honest with you, it's a terrible layout because she said, imagine you're playing the game You, and now she's on about the game Life. So she can't even remember what her analogy is about 2 seconds after starting it.
At least pick a better game.
Fair. EA does about the same
This
thing
comes off as
sometimes.
a frenzied
Yes.
rant that she just got done talking to her friend over a nice soy latte, and her friend was like, "Oh my God, you should make a video about this," and she rushed home just as quick as she could and sat down in her chair. She ruffled up her hair a bit so she could get those Patreon dollars and just started recording.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to
Oh,
wrap
let's
my
see where
brain
she
around it,
goes
so
with
let's
this.
just see where she goes because I'm a bit confused.
Let's see which iceberg she crashes
Then
into.
there's the Call of Duty schematic, which is primary attack grenade. One schematic
And if I change
feels
it,
intuitive to base Call of Duty players.
That's subjective.
Well, yeah, but that's the point.
Intuitive
she's saying
to Halo players.
some controls
Gears of War players who use essentially the same idea.
feel easier or whatever.
Playing the other schematic, playing the other game, feels weird. It
No,
feels
it doesn't.
unintuitive.
Nope.
It's
Just get
harder.
good.
You're not as good at it.
No, just get good. Practice.
So what usually happens in modern games is you're given
God.
the opportunity to change your control schematic,
Oh, shit.
right? You can go to classic controls or modern or whatever.
That is nothing. This is a terrible analogy. It really is.
Well, you called it.
But again,
Yeah, you called
you could
it,
do this
yeah.
easily. Like, what I thought she was going to go. I mean, it would still be like quite irrelevant, but it would still, I don't know, somewhat work. Is it again the idea that on the in actuality, the person controlling the actual character was a different gender, but even though it doesn't really work, it's still more accurate than whatever the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah. I just... God, that pause image. Jesus Christ.
Zach,
Oh,
it's you.
Check the chat for a treat.
Thanks, Zach.
I just,
Beautiful.
Okay, we
just-
get where she's trying to say. I don't know how she's going to explain it properly because it's a little off when you compare it.
But the analogy is terrible.
yeah, but the thing is, the thing she's trying to explain is just like... Go on, carry on. I've just lost all will to actually continue that sentence.
Name this slap on it. It's the ability
felt
to change
that.
your controls. That's how the interface between gender identity and socialized gender works.
No,
Creating additional recognized genders are basically creating new standardized user interfaces, control sets that work better for more people. So instead of having just the standard Halo and Call of
I'm pretty sure it's easier just to explain it like in actuality without the analogy than explain it this way.
Get rid of the analogy. I don't necessarily disagree with her point here. Like different gender identities for different people, even if one person is using Zupaflorf as a gender. Fine, very well. Fuck it. I don't care. Just as long as you're happy and I'm happy and everybody's happy.
It like this has gender and control schemes have nothing in common. Other than that you can change your control scheme and apparently you can change a gender. Also, because the thing is, a control scheme is something which you begin a habit to. You don't just suddenly think, oh well, this control scheme is like this works better for me. It's something which you develop because you play a lot of Halo or you play a lot of Call of Duty. So it's something which you're not born with at all. It's simply what you grow accustomed to.
Well, I think that the strange thing is that
before you played any games, you'll have some kind of bias to what you find easier, I think. Like if you played no games ever, you're gonna have some kind of thing that you find easier, I think.
Also the choice we're
also talking about very minimal changes, like a different place where the grenade button is placed.
I think a better example is like inverted controls, like inverted combos.
Yes, inverted controls would be a much better example because they are much bigger. But even then, that is generally due to what you're accustomed to. And again, it's not something which you're thrown out the womb and then all of a sudden you automatically prefer this based on, I don't know, some kind of arbitrary factor.
Yeah, but
no, it's something which you grow accustomed to due to your life experience.
This is functionality biological. Based off gender. So what's the functionality of a man? Okay, say things in a masculine way. Yeah, penis gets erect. Penis does not get erect. Like impregnate female.
Are you saying all men have penises? Wow, that's pretty bigoted.
I know, but I'm just trying to be best as I can because this is like so fun. I'm like, what is she on about? So female menstruate every month.
No meaning.
Yeah, I know but we're reducing it to functionality. So it's like, okay, if it's an interface, then we can't say mouse sensitivity really low for women because they can't move as quickly because it's physical. It's like that's not a great comparison. I mean, why would you even say reflexes are similar or inverted controls are similar? We have to like reassign the entire joystick or the entire controller to this analogy to make it work. It's not just software. And that's where we get into transitioning from male to female and vice versa. So I don't think this is the best idea. We get what she's trying to say though. It's just not very
I understand where she's coming from, but it's almost like the way she's saying
analogy is not
fun. Yeah,
were you trying to say something earlier?
What was that?
If I can say, my experience, from what I'm trying to make a joke of, I played Mega Man Legends back when it didn't have analog assistance, to where you go to 2 where it has analog assistance. Feels like night and day. So I'm guessing that could be some stupid kind of analogy. I don't know. All I'm trying to say is that joysticks are good and we all need them.
I think I agree with Shani and some others here. Get rid of the actual gaming analogy and she'd make a better point.
Yep.
Duty, we're like, well, there are other games that do things slightly different. The Assassin's Creed control scheme, right? Like, imagine.
Do you want to try that again?
Imagine the control schematic to your favorite game franchise. It just feels good to you. The way Ghost of Tsushima feels good to me, right? That's your gender identity.
Stop coughing.
Gamer user identity. That is the way you can interact.
What happens if I like a lot of different control layouts of loads of different games?
What would you prefer to play?
I mean, even a better analogy would be, I don't know, a control layout which is better for left-handed people than right-handed people, because at least you have something which is a bit more of a bias, which isn't as arbitrary as, I don't know, a game layout. It's something which a lot more people are.
It isn't used as much, because there's more predominant right-handed than left-handed people in the world.
There's such a
so
wide
it can be
range of game
difficult for
layouts.
someone to have a different. I don't know. Say someone who's left-handed to play a game with a specific controller. I don't know. I'm trying to make a better analogy here, but
what about the
helped herself with
ambidextrous
the controller scheme.
Yeah, so with the control scheme, like, is she trying to say, like, whatever makes you feel good, like, whatever control scheme makes you feel good?
But here's the thing. Why was it as like I just said, I like numerous controller schemes for different games, and they feel fine and normal. What does that mean? Does that mean I'm like 20 different gender identities then, or something? I don't know.
For instance, like a pretty standard layout for PC gaming is ease interact. WASD is move about. Sometimes inventory will be tab. Sometimes it'll be I. It's very standardized. It's something which you see in a lot of games, and it's the very same thing with controller layouts. A lot of controllers will use the joysticks to move around, and it's usually the same controller.
Left trigger's usually aim, right trigger's fire. That's what it usually goes like.
And Japan likes to use circle for confirm, while we like to use that for
crouch.
Anyway.
I don't know, even
menus.
Basing it off of nationality, I don't know, Japanese people prefer this layout. I don't know, British or Americans prefer this layout. Because at least it's based on something which isn't as arbitrary, which isn't a bias which you learn not based on any other factor. Which gender is based on a factor. It's based on your gender.
Yeah.
I was trying to say was circle for confirm, but you go to an American game where circle is where you exit out of a menu. Because I've had a game that I play as Japanese. I go to it, try to do the same layout, and then I end up exiting out to the main menu. It's annoying as hell.
Didn't they just change it in Japanese that it's no longer a circle, but it's X now?
Maybe, but the game I have was made before that happened.
Yeah, I'm just saying, they change it right now, or with the future games.
Let's just try and get past the horrible game controller analogy.
A game that allows you to set those controls so that you can engage in the game with the least amount of friction, the least amount of consciousness of something being a barrier between you and the experience you want to have in achieving success and proficiency at that experience.
Oh, did you?
Or something that, either you're very aware of this interface or you're not. You'd prefer the game that allows you to give you the least amount of friction through the user interface, right?
Sorry, I had to leave for 5 seconds.
Right
what does gender identity have to do with friction in the game?
And right
Such
now,
a strange analogy.
there's a lot of people who are feeling a lot of friction. They're very aware of the controls, trying to navigate life.
Okay.
That's because 25% of the population is not gender typical. So you've got 25%
scientific evidence.
Yeah,
evidence of this.
When you say
not gender typical,
I feel like he has a very broad definition of not gender typical.
I thought it was gender typical.
Evidence. Yeah.
Was he saying 25% are not gender typical? But it's by gender typical, do you mean boys who don't like sports? Is that non-gender typical? It just seems how broad is her definition here?
But she can just say any number for a statistic. You can say anything. 8% of people believe statistics. 60% of people know that. You know what I mean?
I don't think
Where's
it's
the
more
evidence
than...
of that
You need to bring up a little bit more. Again, you have to bring up some kind of study.
I don't know where
she's what it is, and then we can look at that study to say, okay, what is that including?
I doubt it's highly in the double digits. I really doubt that. That would...
It's definitely not transgender people.
I definitely just pulled up on Google trans population U.S. 0.6% of the U.S. population identify as transgender.
Yeah,
I think it's about 1 million people in the U.S.
that's
a statistical range of 1.2% to 6.8% of the adult population identify as LGBT.
Yeah, so how's she getting 25%? She's multiplying this by a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying she's like taking a very broad definition of like non.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She's gonna be including blokes who like pink.
Exactly. Like,
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you like My Chemical Romance? Gay.
I think she might be throwing bronies in there
Message
too.
coming in.
Jeez.
Patching it through.
Here's Alex Halo. Alex Halo has something to tell us, guys, twice. Sony is forcing Japanese developers to change X and O.
Oh.
So
Yeah, I knew it.
Is that Sony Japan forcing Japan developers, or just Sony as a conglomerate forcing just the Japanese?
I guess Sony as as a global
Yeah.
thing.
I'm not surprised.
I thought Sony was a Japanese company.
Well, yeah, it's Japanese based, but
Yeah,
it's like
once
four
it
The
starts,
headquarters moved to California.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine. Who aren't Sony.
so now it's just Russian.
Russian.
Between you got Halo controls, you got Call of Duty controls, and you
I'm
go
glad-
for
I'm-
Assassin's Creed
I'm-
controls or Tsushima controls. I love those controls.
Okay.
Now, somebody would say, "Big deal, adapt." Well, that's
Yes.
great. Those are probably
Get good.
people who are
Get-
used to the
get
Halo
good.
controls or the Call of Duty.
Just to
controls, right?
continue, pretty much
I
confirming
learned
about
on
4.5%
those
of the
Halo
adult
gear shooters
population
when I have
in
to
the
go to Call of
US
Duty,
identify as
I'm
LGBT.
terrible for
You are
far too
terrible.
long and never quite adapt.
Good-
and then
good
I go back
answer.
to play Gears 2 and I'm like, better. Right? Part of it is that's what I learned. Could I adapt? Sure. But then when I go back to playing the games,
But it's very easy to adapt. You can't just only
on.
be adapted to one controller scheme, and then
Yeah,
you
but
can never
that's not
play
even-
any of the controller scheme.
Yeah, but that's not even controller schemes. That's different controllers. Because she just went, I was playing Halo, the new Halo and stuff, and couldn't get used to it. But I went back to Gears 2. Yeah, that's on two completely different systems.
Has she ever seen a GameCube
Genre,
controller?
like first person
Yeah.
to third person cover shooter. Like, yeah, like everyone's gonna have their preparation. Like, I suck at FPS games too, but I'm better in third person or so.
Plus,
Yeah.
we're also talking about
Also-
gender, as in, like, gender is very much in binaries. You're either male or female. There is no binary in controls because you can have a multitude of different ways of like setting up your controls. Like, for example, if I was really batshit insane, I could have my left and right mouse button control my character, or I could have T, F, G, H, be my forwards, backwards, left, and right.
No, but
If
the
I
point she's
really
making,
wanted to.
the point she's making.
So it's not binary like gender.
The point she's making, though, is that you're conditioned to keep using the same controls. Therefore, you're more comfortable using this control scheme. So out of repetition or whatever you're used to after all this time. So the idea, in software and hardware, you can program the inputs to do whatever you like, but you don't want that because you are X, even though inside you're Y or whatever the case might be. So yes, but she's combining a bit of psychology here with input, which I guess is easily understood, but
She's combining a bit of psycho here. That's for certain.
it's a very weak association. I'm just like, okay, I get what you're trying to say. That's fine. It just where is she going with it? I want to know.
I learned on. Then I gotta. Why can't I just set the buttons to do what I want the buttons to do in the way I want to do them? Right. This is something.
Gosh, you didn't make the console
and
or
yet
the
we
controller.
don't give people who
Just
have a lot of friction with the user interfaces of our cultures the same freedom. And that's why I think gamers are in a unique ability to get this, right? And you're like, yeah, but
We would if your analogy wasn't shit.
Yeah.
Weird. Like, I associate with the control scheme, like with the function, and the analogy she's making with the gender identity. Like, I just don't see it. Like, I'm really confused, like where she's trying to go with this.
Like, I don't
Sure,
even
most
want to
gamers
call her a
are.
dumb asshole. She's just like, I'm genuinely concerned. This is like, are you okay? Are you mentally stable? Clearly not. But maybe we could I don't know, find somebody to listen to your dumbass problems.
If you've ever talked to women before, they have really interesting analogies that don't make a heck of a lot of sense. You just nod your head, you go, oh, okay.
It's like
I think her triangle butt's stuck.
It's like she hasn't thought of it enough, but she's also overthought it, I think.
Yeah.
No, she hasn't thought this through at all. Like, she ran home, like I said earlier, she hit record, and this is what we're getting now. And
they make the analogy, you nod your head, say yeah, and then you just stamp their papers, and it just says insane, and then people just drag her back to the padded cell, and that's it.
Like, it's not even like she's being malicious about it, she's just dumb.
Yeah, to be fair, it sounds like something I would come up with at work, and then come like, "Oh, this sounds smart," and then thinking about it, no, this is terrible. Why would I ever say?
Like, I want to believe her that she has a good intentions. I just have a problem. Like,
I think she's got good intentions. I think she's just making a very terrible point, and she hasn't thought through or scripted any of this.
Yeah.
She's a little confused, but she's got the spirit.
This ain't the first time we've covered her, and she does make some really batshit insane arguments.
Yeah, just look at the frame right now. She looks like she's about to burst into sad song. And I'll always love you. Okay.
And I could have been the controller layout for you, but you turned me away.
Like, I really want to talk to this lady and just try to get her thoughts out in order, so she doesn't make another batshit dumbass video like this again, and I can stop losing brain cells.
You only want to talk to her so you could have a go at her about her bookshelf.
Okay, first of all, that is mean and true.
That's a truthful statement.
Second of all, I don't want to continue. All right, so just imagine in your mind for a second 1,000 sheep just jumping off a cliff. Those are my brain cells right now.
Ouch!
And I just want to fix this.
Just get a better wolf then.
Get a better wolf.
I guess I just need to mansplain the shit out of gender to her, so then we can really.
That was
get
a
somewhere.
good.
You're supposed to be the progressive one.
There's a great image that someone showed. There's Roni. Thanks, Ron. Great idea for an image there. Florida man breaks into home to cook breakfast, tells residents to go back to sleep. He's a little confused, but he got the spirit. So she's in the right. Like, she's trying. She's getting there. She's just doing things in a very bizarre way to make people more comfortable about analogies between video games and sexual identity.
One just needs to know how to do analogies properly to actually do them.
Yeah, you have to get it right the first time, then you can talk about it. That's true. Anyway.
Well, we don't have to press in life, but we do, right? We do. Okay? You have to go, you have to go to the bathroom. I was at the drive-in over the weekend. We saw Tenet.
Both genders go to the bathroom.
We're not going into theaters because, no, the COVID. So a drive-in
Women don't poop.
Like
Shut up.
A good alternative. You go to use the bathroom. What's the first thing most people look for?
Toilet paper.
Male or female, right?
What?
Is the toilet seat clean? Has someone pissed on it?
Go, well, that's, that's that's the
That was
bathroom.
a bad
That
time
makes
to
sense
lose
to me. I'm going to go there.
internet
That's the socially
I've just missed everything.
right? Because it's a courtesy, it's a comfort to other people. In some U.S. states, you get arrested for going into the wrong bathroom. That's weird, because what if the other one's broken? We don't do that the same way in Canada. People might freak out, but we don't have the solution to everyone.
I mean,
everything is
it's just
called
kind
cops.
of weird for someone to go into the other toilet, even if it's broken.
It's weird, but I haven't heard of anybody getting arrested for it.
Oh, I've got a story
Sure,
for
you can, if you
Well
identify as the other gender, you can. But it's just kind of like a societal rule that you don't go into the other gender's bathroom.
But can you use the urinal, though? I mean, that's kind of the...
How does... I don't even want to think about that.
Well, a woman will lean up against the back of it, right?
Well, for a start, people generally don't want to use public toilets because public toilets are fucking disgusting.
Yeah. The only time you ever really use a toilet in public is if you're at a bar or a restaurant or something.
Yeah, but
like
most
that.
bars will
have
at
a
least
really bad
look
stomach.
after them somewhat.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why you use them, because you know that all the other ones are just fucking disgusting.
But usually they're not going to have like 6 rows of toilets being out of order, so you have to use the other gender's toilets.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got our facilities all figured out here, guys.
Yeah. Don't mess around with our
Plumbing.
bog. Yeah.
To go back and say, I remember there was an
toilet
anime.
paper down on the seat whenever you go to the public bathroom, or do you just go ahead?
I mean, if there's anything on the seat, then maybe I'll clean it up with toilet paper, but I'm not going to leave a layer of toilet paper around a seat.
No, you don't leave it. You're not a fucking animal. But do you put a layer down before you have a seat?
What's the point in
Zach,
putting a layer down?
If I've got to go for anything other than a whiz, I hold it until I get home. I will not go anywhere near.
That's weird.
It depends on the state of the toilet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the army. I can poop anywhere. I
Well,
don't care.
Next time you go
They
to Japan,
train you to poop everywhere.
next time you guys go to Japan,
But,
you'll be enlightened by the way that they deal with going to the bathroom. And oh my goodness, you will want to rush out and buy yourself a Japanese toilet. It is that good.
Are they the ones with the bidets?
I want water up my butt.
They are fantastic.
You know, in Austria, they in toilets, they like, you know, and usually in these lying urinals, they're like open to like the elements. They'll just be outside,
All right.
so you can just be, you know, pissing at a urinal, and you'll just be looking straight outside to like a public footpath.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Sounds good for a foot fetish guy.
So a lot of people are just kind of walking around while you're just pissing at this urinal. It is quite awkward, at least for me.
Thank you, Shay. It's great.
Have you ever done the toilet that's in the one-way window room? Know what I'm talking about?
What?
It's a toilet that's outside, but in the panels are like the walls are just glass, and you can't see in it, but you can see out of it. Know what I'm talking about? No?
I
Okay,
didn't
never
know that
mind.
was a thing, but I think I understand the concept.
I pooped in one of those before. It was liberating.
Have you ever done?
Why is it
like,
liberating
try it out.
to look out at people that do shit?
It's just I don't know why. Maybe it's my 12-year-old sense of humor and my
Is this-
28-year-old brain.
is this
It was
another
just hilarious. to me.
situation where it's Zach's story time? We all sit round and listen to Zach tell the tale of how he
All right,
poops.
so no shit, there I was. Well, there was one shit, but no shit, there I was.
Thanks. That was a great story.
That's all. You can continue.
All right.
in Canada, but like
ING gave
in a lot
it
of
10 out of 10.
places. I remember we were shopping at a Victoria's
IGN, you
Secret
mongoloid.
down in California,
I know.
and up here in our lingerie stores, there's men there. It's not strange there's a chair, and men, you know, the husbands.
Why are we talking about
boyfriends
Victoria's Secret now?
up in
I thought we were talking
Canada,
about
we're quite
gamers.
utilitarian with this stuff. It's like, well, we know who's really
Oh.
getting the enjoyment out of this stuff, so let's make sure he likes
Yes,
it.
if they aren't those things in
And
the
a lot of
UK.
times
you
you have
Whoa.
male opinion too. But sometimes it's just they're the ones you go shopping with, so they need to put. So we're down, and I don't know if it was the Beverly Center, and we did the thing that is normal up in Canada, and a very huffy Victoria's Secret employee and kicked my husband out. She says, "You can't be back here," and she said, "Everybody."
Why are we talking about
Why are we
Victoria's
talking-
Secret?
Are we talking about this story?
I thought we were talking about it in like gamer terms, like control schemes.
So, gentlemen, when was the last time you bought
what that
lingerie?
is.
I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah, about
Also, I would be lying to
year
you.
ago.
I would be fucking lying to you if I didn't say that this is partly why I paused here.
You were just waiting for
Yeah,
it.
you know why you
Very
paused
nice to
there.
lie, you fucking asshole.
What was that, Chase?
Hello, Trace.
Hi, I'm sorry I fucking took so long. I didn't realize you would give me exactly 15 fucking minutes to be ready. It's like ass deep in the
God,
something.
Chase, you rude
I
man.
know, fuck you. Fuck all of you.
Time is money, okay?
Wait, excuse me.
No, I was in the middle of editing. I mean, I said who it was in the fucking. I'm a bit of a ghost editor. I said who it was in the chat. Hopefully, you guys didn't show it in the actual fucking video. But
Oh God, we showed that bloody picture. Great.
Did you actually?
No.
I was gonna say. I don't know you.
Why'd
at
we
all,
do
so
that?
I don't know you, protagonist from fucking Dragon Age 2, piece of shit. So I don't know your humor. But no, the person whose podcast I'm editing, they're fucking wonderful. But they're like a freak. Like they have the most insane work ethic of anyone I've ever seen. And so they're like, I can get this done in 4 hours. And meanwhile, I take like 2 days, and they're like, I need you to speed it up. And I'm like, yeah, but in your version, like, there's like fucking dogs barking in the background and shit. So it's like I'm very much a detail-oriented person. So that's why it takes longer. It's higher quality. So I've just been seeing you guys sharing screen caps of this fucking turkey neck like, redhead bitch, and I don't have any context for it. So you might fill in
just
me in
Zach. That's not a normal thing
It's
on
just-
this
it's
webcast.
thing,
So,
Yeah.
listen, first of all, you're welcome. Second of all, this has been a ride, and I'm happy you're here to share it with us.
So the analogy so far is that gender identity is how the world sees you, and it's like a gamer control scheme, and you should be able to customize it because you can customize a game control scheme.
Also, now we're talking about Victoria's Secret, and
Yeah, lingerie went in there somehow.
Sounds like
Talking about how her husband got kicked out of Victoria's Secret.
Chase, you've got a girlfriend. You know about Victoria's Secret, I assume.
Oh, tell us about girls.
Yeah, women. What are they?
Girls tend to like really lacy panties, and then when they start to fucking fray, they just wear like the frilly hole-filled panties, and I don't know. It's weird. I don't really understand it myself.
Oh.
Did you want something more illuminating? Because
that was
pretty
perfect.
much all.
Yeah, what do girls sound like?
What do they look like?
I mean,
This is
they
getting
usually
weird very
smell-
fast.
They usually smell like.
No, sound. I'm not a weirdo.
Oh, they said smell. Someone said smell. I mean, they sound like a bitch.
All right.
They sound like a fire alarm. But
Right, there's a video to cover. Let's get to that.
Let's actually can one of you guys post the fucking watch together again? It's like, I'm not scrolling past this woman's face a million times over.
Yeah,
I need it now.
I'll get it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
There you go.
All right.
Smart, I said I'll get it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Smud and Zach are fighting for watch together control in the
I am present.
chat.
I'll fight Smud. I'll 1v1 you in Mass Effect, even though I haven't played it in 7 years.
Hey, they're coming out with a remaster soon, so you got
Yay.
that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pumped about that actually.
Oh
So,
my god.
a lot of the time, remasters can be a bit hit and miss.
I hope they
Sometimes they
fucking
can be
fix
genuine
Mass Effect
improvements.
1.
Other times they
I
can
hope
be
they
shit.
fix Mass Effect 1 because like the fucking introduction is really slow, and like the entire level prior to the Arachne Queen is like just the worst thing ever. Because I don't know about you guys, but is it just me, or is the autosave just fucking screwed in that entire section? Because if you die to any of the Arachne in that area, if memory serves, you have to go all the way back to the beginning where you're talking to the AI and trying to go down the fucking elevator.
Well, Chase, sorry to burst your bubble, but they're only going to be fixing graphics. They're not going to be doing anything with the story or the gameplay.
Remaster only in updating the graphics. That's it. There was a talk that they might actually switch the combat mechanics in Mass Effect 1, but that turned out to be false.
That would require effort.
It's
Oh, so what I wanted Final Fantasy VII to be, actually.
I don't know
That's what
anything
you get
about
when
that. I
that's,
just
that's
believe
fucking what
anything that
happens when you
Glasses
expect
Man tells me.
excellence from the guy that made Kingdom Hearts. That's not how it goes.
I remember that pain,
You poor
Chase,
soul.
of going through that elevator after you lose. So yeah, it does take about 15 minutes to get back.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to. I've not played Mass Effect 1 for years now. I was just trying to remember the actual layout.
I would I mean, obviously, Mass Effect 2 is like a fucking. It's like an actual masterpiece, if memory serves. But
Calm down,
Review.
I
totally
think
fine.
that the first one has a lot more atmosphere, especially being able to actually like go and look at
There's
other
a lot more
barren
plot.
planets. Yeah, there is. That's good. I remember I had a black.
Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. It has a plot compared to Mass
I remember
Effect 2.
I had a black roommate who could do like an absolutely amazing fucking facial impression of Saren. It, like scared me every time he did
Whoa.
it. He would just purse his lips and glare at me, and I was like, "It's fucking Saren."
That's scary.
Oh,
He's a
jeez.
bird man. What are you talking about? How did you do that?
Yeah, no.
Anyway, let's watch
He's got
this.
this
Let's
blue
watch this
glowing
uninformed
stuff.
female individual.
Everybody knows
Well,
this.
she's
No,
a
we're
female,
from
of
Canada.
course
We
she's
don't know
uninformed.
this, right?
Well,
The same thing
not
happens
from
if somebody
Canada.
doesn't look female
Explain.
enough, right? It's less so with male because we don't feel the need to keep women behind. We don't feel the need to keep men behind cloisters for their own protection, right? Like there isn't this
Cloisters?
constant
Yeah, 'cause we
fear
can
of
fight.
you're gonna get raped everywhere, which is a problem we have to address in society. It's ridiculous.
What? Where are we? What the fuck?
I guess we.
We're supposed to be talking about video game controllers and gender, but now we're on rape. God damn it!
Wrong turn.
I hate
That's what
this.
I mean about the
This
user.
It's an unstructured
the
rant.
I'm chuckling about this.
This is
but
the
even
second
between the US
video
and
that I've
Canada,
watched
it's
with
that
Smud
different.
that
I think
went on
because
to
in
rape.
Canada, we just
This is what happens when you don't have a
the same
script.
amount of reported crime, so it doesn't go through our heads that a common area in a change room would be because we have a lot of like single stall change rooms, and it's just it's single stall, so you don't have to
What
be
the-
separated. It's men and women use the same
Like a-
main mirror.
So you
Yeah,
guys remember the
it's
sheep
called-
analogy from earlier?
Gender identity.
It's very different.
Yeah, the sheep analogy
That's
from
what I mean
earlier
about a
is
user interface with life.
just more of my
It's just
brain
a
cells
what?
and an utter
killing
lie.
When
themselves.
you
Wait, what?
get a
Victoria's
government
Secret's
issued
dressing
ID.
rooms are like is what she means
That's
by
what
the
I mean
user
about a user
face.
face.
User
Life.
interface. Wait, what?
When you get a government issued ID, if a person is living as a man
As a man.
and their government ID says female, what's the point of having those identifiable characteristics on government ID?
Okay, so my question is, what does it mean to live
What
like
the
a
fuck
man?
is even happening? Someone please tell me.
We don't know.
We went from
I
control
just want some
scheme.
clarification, just some criteria from this dumb red bitch.
Control
Apparently
scheme.
there's a problem with
Victoria's
the idea that
Secret
someone
to-
can look female.
We started at bloody Two Spirit, for God's sake. Where the hell have we got?
Oh, that was great, huh?
Two spirits, the controllers,
I-
the Victoria's Secret.
There's rape. There's a lot of rape, and
There's a lot of rape.
that
I love the way he said that.
yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I love how
Can we get back?
if you're
Can we
a
get back to
woman
Hemlock
and-
and get the fuck out?
Hawk,
You know
Hawk,
what I mean?
I am the fucking first time guest. You will stop fucking talking over me every 3 seconds. Holy shit.
Chase, you will respect women and genders,
I
okay?
refuse.
Also, Chase,
I-
you're,
I-
you're
You got two,
apparently,
now
apparently
you're
you're wrong
talking
about
about
this.
Respect the
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
champion.
As the only bisexual here, because of my bisexual lighting.
Did you
know,
just
I
assume?
will, I
Assuming
will,
I'm not one, so
I will give Chase, the due. Carry on,
You know I
Chase.
don't love
Did you
cock.
just
I appreciate
assume
that.
everyone here is
L'chaim.
hetero?
Anyway.
No, I just assumed everyone here
Where
wasn't
did that Chaim
bisexual.
come from? What is
God,
that?
this is the chaos.
I
What
mean,
happens
that's
when you
the
don't
only
let
one
anyone in
here.
the Smudcast?
Hey, everyone, just let's one at a time, please. I don't know where L'chaim came from. It just sounded like a vaguely Yiddish word, and I think I've heard it from somewhere. But yeah, no, everyone knows that if you're a white woman in America, arguably one of the most privileged social classes on the fucking planet, you have to constantly talk about just how everyone is just bursting at the seams to fucking jump out and rape you, especially if you're supremely below average looking. You have to constantly act like, just sort of lift yourself up. You have to constantly act like it is an everyday thing. Like, my girlfriend is, not to flex, she's very fucking attractive. So, like, I see it every day. She gets, like, fucking 20 messages a day from Middle Eastern dudes on Instagram, like, hello, titties, you show? Like, that's
Humble
she
brag, why
actually
don't
has to
you?
deal with. She actually has to deal with fucking weirdo creeps who are, like, fucking harassing her for nudes and shit. And, like, men on the street just, like, staring her up and down every street we go to.
You send
It's
feet
like,
pics,
that shit's
yes?
annoying. That shit's
Feet
really
pics,
annoying.
yes?
But it's
$5
it's
Bob's and
always the-
Begin, yes?
it's always the women that you find complaining the most about how, like, they fear for their lives everywhere they go. They're always just the most frumpy looking fucking miserable pieces of shit on the
Yeah.
planet. I don't know why. I don't know what that is. They want to feel special, maybe. I'm sought after too. Sure.
It's compensation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if I may make an observation,
Yes, go on.
I think her room reflects her mental state and her whole, like, everything's just like odds and ends, random stuff, and her tangents are random stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think she has
a Digimon in the
organized
top left
mindset.
wearing like a beer hat. It looks like a Digimon.
Oh,
It does look like a Digimon.
now that I think
That's
about it,
drunk Agumon.
You know what?
Yeah,
She has a Final Fantasy 14 Moogle plush on the very far left corner with a little satchel. So that's how we know she's like the biggest fucking normie on the planet. Everyone that plays Final Fantasy 14.
She's gotta be 14. What could
Everyone that plays FF14 thinks they're like some fucking super cool Uber gamer that really loves retro games, but it's literally a reskinned WoW. Like, it is just weeaboo reskinned WoW.
I'm
And
surprised you didn't say anything
I would
about
know
Rape
because I
Face
played for
ET.
5 fucking years and I had to
He's
be
not
around
wrong.
those insufferable assholes who fucking they post like 30 fucking pictures with reshade screenshots of their fucking house, of their little room they fucking redecorate like 3 times a day. It's them posing with their other female fucking Mikote friend, both of whom are played by males, mind you. I'm sorry. I really have a bone to pick with 14 lately because I got back into Final Fantasy 11, the first MMO they did. And it's so much more atmospheric and like amazing. And yeah, it's like old and antiquated, but and then you just hear people endlessly praise Final Fantasy 14. Like there was a video that was like, which is the best fucking Final Fantasy game to recommend to newcomers? And the person who made the video was like, oh yeah, there's Final Fantasy 11, but Final Fantasy 14, and just completely skip past it. I'm sorry, Zach, do you play FF14?
Zach is gone.
That's not how you spell 7.
My push to talk key is H, and I had to like get out of the text box to start talking again.
Do you play FF14? Did I attack
I've
you?
never played a single Final Fantasy, so I'm just lost.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I had an ex-coworker who plays that.
Was it a girl?
He was a guy, and he had a guy avatar, so yeah, no, he didn't do that.
Was he fat?
No, actually, he was a skinny man.
Liar!
I don't believe you.
Stop lying!
He was it's just... I don't have any picks. That'd be doxing.
The main issue I have with people that play FF14, I'll wrap this up because I know no one gives a shit about me, is that everyone that plays, like people that play World of Warcraft are usually pretty level-headed, like functional fucking people that are like, oh yeah, I like superheroes and I like cars and whatever. You gotta play Final Fantasy 14. Everyone there is fucking into like Futanari and traps and shit, and like they don't
shit.
know, like they hate their lives, so they fucking they vanish into escapism. So like they're extremely socially not like well balanced, not well rounded, and yeah, as if
those
they
are weebs
have,
in general.
If they that's true, weebs in general, and if they have any fucking issue with you, they completely lack the ability to like communicate and mediate. They just immediately spurg the fuck out and like block you and go and spread rumors and tell everyone you're a terrible person. It's the worst fucking community I've ever been a part of.
Well, that sounds familiar.
Awful.
Have you been in the Brony community?
Anyway, back
no,
to
but I
what we
hear
were talking
things.
about before.
Back to what we're talking about.
But yeah,
before.
as
Google set me off, I'm sorry.
mentioned before, it is the background is very like normie geek
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah. It's very like I'm a
Again, you
nerd.
have a
I like
minion.
things.
So she had a point earlier in the
you're right, she does
video
have a minion.
that if you just take her out of the video and then she like covered her face so you couldn't see her, that she just disappeared. And she's like, if you just look at my background, then you would assume that it's a man's.
It looks like the Nerd Crew set from fucking Red Letter Media.
I don't.
Yes, did I not say that it just looks like a fucking generic YouTube channel background?
I mean, there's no cohesion to this. There's a lot of different styles going on. It's very white, which is racist, of course.
Yeah, you can't be
It's
racist against
just-
white
there's
people.
not-
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is just very bland.
No, it's racist that it is
and-
white.
Yeah,
Well, my
white
apologies.
or
That was my
white
favorite.
I
racist.
hate whites.
Yeah, fuck them. Don't actually fuck them because they're racist. But yeah, fuck whites.
No, I know.
Anyway,
The first time. Fuck whites.
I just knew when we start playing this video again, she's going to be on about the rape stuff, and I don't know whether
Oh fuck, we've gone off so far. And we're just gonna come right back to rape.
Do you think that I wonder what it's like? No, actually, I know what it's like. You know, the people who like genuinely, people who genuinely watch this sort of content and act like it's the most enlightening, like it's such a privilege to fucking watch this sort of stuff.
Yes,
like I knew a girl I used to be friends with like a few girls that worked at a GameStop, and we'd just like hang out or whatever because I'd come there often enough before I was like
girls don't
before I
play
was like
games.
really into PC games and shit. And one of them was
Now
just
who's
like,
telling lies?
one of them was just a fucking like a cold-hearted bitch, and you could tell that she was just a miserable person. And her other female coworker was like, she's a really hardcore feminist, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was trying to be open-minded. And then we went to a fucking restaurant, and they were like talking about, this was 2016, so they were talking about the new Ghostbusters, and they were really like hyping it up, like it's really good.
Oh god.
And I was like, oh, I heard that it's got like a fucking queef joke. And they're like, yeah, but I mean, it's just like one part. Like they were super fucking defensive about it. And the guy was so fucking eager to sing its praises in front of his fucking girlfriend. Like he was the definition. I hate the whole soy boy thing, but he was like literally that. Just like beard and
If the
Soy
shoe
boy
fit,
central.
then I'm more than happy to say
Yeah.
it.
Simp.
Yeah.
You're not missing much.
All right. well,
Anyway, gender.
It's kind of like the shoe very much fits weeb, so that's why I call all weeb simps.
oh, geez. Here's Alex Halo. I guess you'll want to like me. I don't do any of that. Okay, Alex. Just that's good to know. I mean, we love you anyway, but thank you for sharing. It's always nice.
All right, this is being streamed, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What do you think? You're just watching this
Yeah,
for like
you're
shit
alive.
and giggles?
I mean, fucking Mahler was planning on doing something like some offline stream thingy, and I don't know. I know there's some other people in the community
We're not
that
Mahler.
do like that too.
We're live, and you need to apologize to
I'm
all
sorry.
the
I totally thought that.
heard.
I totally thought your fucking voices sounded exactly like Mahler's. You'll have to excuse me.
Oh, I
if
thought
ever make that mistake.
Oh no.
Oh,
Last
tism,
video where
tism,
they said
tism.
that it was an EFAP ripoff.
Oh yeah, 8080 chat called us Diet EFAP, and he confused us for EFAP.
Yeah,
He thought
What's wrong?
EFAP covered him, but it was actually us.
this
are we
is
talking
0
about?
calorie EFAP. What's wrong?
80.
Yeah.
Oh, if you've never heard of 8080
We
chat,
General who?
you are.
We
that's the-
identify.
I know who AT Chad is. I call him a cunt every week on Twitter.
He does call him a cunt every week on Twitter.
Yeah, it's at least once a week. I
I like the idea that
Like,
you
directly
set an
at him.
alarm and you're like, right, time to call him a cunt.
yeah,
like-
it's my
like
cunt
40.
alarm. It's like 5 a.m. at like every Friday.
Honey, it's 4 p.m. Time for me to call you a cunt.
Honey, it's cunt time.
Anyway, carry on with the rape analogy.
Right, so she's
from
probably going to talk
gender
about...
identity.
Why?
Do
When
we
we can
have
carry
to?
on with the cunt analogy.
No, please don't.
I want to get past. I want to get past this part.
You want to get past the cunt
I
analogy?
just want to get to some point.
We all want to get past the cunt.
Yeah.
Zach, I've got to watch Maggie May Fisher's Robocop review in the next
Oh god.
like
Oh,
tonight.
dear.
So I want to keep some brain cells.
Why?
before I
Why
kill
would you
myself
do that
after
to yourself? It's horrific.
I have. I
You
have
did it
to.
already.
It's a transgender allegory. and
I have to do this
he
as well.
has-
What?
I'm gonna
The
be on
gun
the stream
replaces
as well.
his penis.
What?
What?
Yeah,
What?
Maggie May Fish says his gun replaces his penis.
What?
You
Penis gun.
So the old
fucking
Punisher
joking,
toy.
mate.
Oh god.
No, she
Penis
legitimately
gun.
says that in her video. It's only the surface.
doesn't even-
of-
Here's
Bears.
penis.
If
Here's
you're watching this, this is what we've got to look forward to. I hope you're happy.
He
that we
was
agreed to
killed
do this.
by phallic guns.
Wow,
Oh,
now the phrase "dead or alive," you're coming with me has a new meaning to it.
wait. So is she like talking about that scene where she shoots that guy? Well, where Robocop shoots that guy in the dick?
I don't think
Right.
she does. She,
Oh,
no, she,
yeah.
Through the dress.
she says
She
that the
skips
gun
past that.
replaces his penis, and he was shot to death with phallic guns.
What?
So Bullet Bukaki, gotcha.
Oh my gosh.
Phallic. I've got.
He has multiple phallic weapons. I think the spike was also a phallic weapon. The image where he has a flashback of his wife where it fades from her face. That's where he's becoming his wife. So it's a trans
Oh yeah, the
dream analogy.
the mug,
Oh,
the mug that says
World's
best
best dad.
dad or something. That was him rejecting his
Because
masculinity.
it's cracked.
oh no. Oh no. Oh,
Not no symbolic for broken family, masculinity.
I don't know who said it before, but you're right. They are smoking some heavy stuff to be coming up with that mess.
Yes, yeah. This is what I mean. Oh god. Well, at least that rope I bought will come in handy.
We're not
Maggie
even.
Mayfish is always smoking
She's off the rails. But anyway, we're not even halfway done this video, guys. So.
Yeah, no, we've got to go through. I've got to go through. Right. Oh.
Let's keep going, okay?
Now. Yeah, I'm fine. Let's just keep going.
A law enforcement official can make sure that's you, right? If people are not, if people are transgender, they need to be able to change their user interface so they can have a relatively frictionless play experience in life. That's the whole point. And so for the question,
this is a huge stretch.
Why is adding more genders and referring
I don't necessarily disagree with it, but it's just fucking retarded the way she's portraying it.
Very different.
This is the worst yoga exercise I've ever had.
In order to understand that, you have to see past the placeholder languages. Like I said, don't think about it as male and female. Think about it as Halo
Transcend
controls,
language. No, I don't want to because it's retarded.
That makes it even more stupid and confusing.
I'm not 12.
Games, huh? I feel offended.
Listen, Shiny, you're not a trans person.
She's
you're
literally
Halo,
just talking down.
You're Master Chief.
Halo or Call of Duty.
Did you say Smut?
Meaning you're not a trans person. You're a Halo control. That's how you have to think. You have to be comfortable with your killing of robots.
So
you don't kill robots in Halo, Smud. God.
Yeah, but Shiny thinks he does.
By the way, Zach, Bears just sent me a link to the other stream, so I'm probably going to be wrapping up in the next 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to be joining that one as well.
Oh, have fun, gentlemen. That's
good for you.
That's going to be a ride.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if I kill myself tonight.
If we end up coming back, Smud, it's probably because we went fuck this shit.
Oh, I won't.
I'm joking.
If it's too much, I'm just gonna kill myself tonight. I'm done. I can't handle the amount of brain cells I'm losing right now.
If you guys don't remember,
all I know is
the time we went through.
I remember the cats video.
That was okay. That was another trip and a half. That was worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like taking something that's sacred to your childhood or whatever you watched the first Robocop and going, oh wow, that is the dumbest interpretation I've ever heard of, which has nothing to do with the film. Like she thought the heart of the film was that boardroom scene with all the corporate of America just sitting around the boardroom and talking to each other and doing stuff. I think that was like the heart of the film. If you could wrap your brain about what that even means when she says that, I still don't understand what that scene means to her. When she said
I haven't seen Robocop since I was a child, and I can tell you that that's not true.
Yeah, it's...
And the real hero
I'm
was
a 28-year-old shadow demon, and I can still tell you that's not true.
The real hero was that old dude who tells Robocop it's okay to kill the bad guy because he turned off... He fired the guy, so he's no longer part of the company, therefore he can kill the bad guy who is no longer part of the company. That was her reason.
My...
Oh yeah, and apparently he was called, what was it, Old Man because patriarchy.
Oh yeah, the script called him Old Man. There was no actual name of the shareholder. He was just an old dude. So Old Man patriarchy. The patriarchy is commanding Robocop to be a woman.
No.
I don't want to stay here. I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
I don't want to do that. No. Oh, I promise, Bears. We planned this for like 3 weeks. Oh no, I should have looked at the video.
Just leave. Go. Piss off.
If you have to, try and take some alcohol with you.
Shiny, stop being a sexist, man.
Yeah.
Stop being a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a clone. You don't even have rights.
I identify as a cunt. So.
Also, funny jokes aside. Can I address something in chat that I fucking didn't see earlier because I didn't realize we were streaming?
Okay.
Someone said, "What's wrong with using female avatars as males? It's fucking creepy. You're a dude."
Yeah, I'd agree there.
I'm not saying you can't do it. Obviously, like that's your God-given right in this country or really any other to. I mean, I don't really have an issue with it. It's always just the justification that's fucking weird to me. It's just like it's always the same fucking weird like try hard like I just love looking at fucking tits and ass. It's like then go look at porn. Like I don't want to fucking. I think it's just weird that it's like everything has to be like by the way I'm straight I fucking love titties. It's like if you feel I mean I guess some people have made the argument
the avatar's supposed to be the representation of yourself.
It's your digital extension. Yes. I would argue. I mean obviously again do whatever you want, but I've heard some people make the argument of like oh, it's more gay to be playing as a guy and staring at a guy and customizing a guy. It's like, no, it's not. It's a fucking fantasy for me. It's my power fantasy to be this fucking cool character in this virtual world who's fucking getting increasingly stronger and breaking my limits.
There's a difference between playing a male or female character, and then there's a difference between also your online avatar.
Yeah, like it doesn't look exactly like me, so I understand. Like, if you're, playing around with your gender identity, hey, look, what a fucking full circle we got here.
Oh my god!
And you decide, oh yeah, I just like playing as girls more. Totally fine, totally fine. Just realize that if you're like a fucking overweight dude who takes screenshots of your female avatar and posts it everywhere and talks about how fucking cute she is, creepy. It's fucking creepy, and you're weird, and I don't like you, and I want to be your friend. I want to talk to you. That's it. That's all.
But does that also count to does that also count to the human race, like in the game, or does it count to all races? Like, let's say in World of Warcraft, you would play as a night elf, and you choose to be a female just because, hey, I don't want to look.
Don't Ecom have female avatars?
If you hate your race or you hate your gender and you really want to do the other ones, that's fine. I just think it's odd. Like I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like a fucking nationalist or anything. I don't have any issue.
Night elves are so cool, man.
I don't have an issue with like playing as a female in a game like Nier, or like a fucking black character, or like a ethnic character in another game or whatever. It's fine, but it's just if I have to choose, I'm always going to choose a character that resembles me because it gets me more immersed. So that's just how I like.
That makes sense. That's why I always choose characters of. Like, if they look close to me, or I never choose a female character, because I may not be a masculine man, but I uphold to those ideals.
I like having a fucking cock and balls, dude. It's pretty neat. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I've dealt with it my whole fucking life, and I'm just kind of used to it at this point. And I get like, you can make that argument about World of Warcraft. I used to play like the humans, and then people made a good point. They're like, why would you fucking play the race you're already playing in real life? Like, why? That's boring. And I'm like, yeah, that is boring. But I don't know. It's a more deep than I'm giving it credit for. I like to look at it at a very surface level thing. But like I said, if someone wants to play as a female, then I'm not gonna like make fun of them. I'm just internally going to judge them a little bit and be like, why? You're not a girl.
Is it gay if I give my cyberpunk character the biggest cock I can possibly give him?
No, because that's what I did.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the Polygon article?
All right. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna drop off now. It was nice talking to everyone. Chase, are you doing Studio Devils Among Us on Sunday?
Yeah, probably. I don't unless my fucking D&D group resumes doing D&D, then I should be fine. Should be open.
Oh well, I'll probably see you then, man. Everyone else, I'll catch you around on the next video.
I'm dreading it.
Adios.
All right.
Dreading hearing my voice again.
Yeah. Well, try not to hurt yourself, Hawk.
Godspeed.
Good luck.
See ya.
Take care, everybody.
Be safe.
Be
safe, fucker.
Bye.
I hope he catches the fucking virus. Just don't.
I'm gonna tell him you said that.
No, please don't do that.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop out as well. Seems like a good stopping point.
Fuck off.
All right, Zach.
Go.
No, you.
Fuck out of here.
Thanks for coming on, Zach. We appreciate it.
I'm the king now.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy this, and you're welcome for the screenshots.
Take care.
I'm gonna fucking react to some more comments because we got some fucking real head ass people in chat.
Because I feel like I kind of have a female avatar here, kind of. But it's more of it's an inanimate object, really. But
it's like a fucking if it's a Discord avatar, who gives a shit? That's
doll,
a picture. That's like I don't. People like you can't really. I guess you can meme with like an MMO. Back when I played like Ion Online, the fucking Korean anime, you had like height sliders and shit, and you had like fucking strong men with like tiny skinny waists walking around. And their animations where all their walk cycles were super fucked up. It was extremely cursed, and that was entertaining.
Now it's reminding me of what's it called? The dinosaur game Ark, where you can make really like really obscene characters.
Well, hold that thought, because I'm going to respond to some people in chat. Evie says, reading a little too deep into this one, Chase. No, I'm not. This is a fucking very hot subject for a lot of people. It's extremely, it's discussed with a lot of passion. Walls it to you said it's fantasy. You're the only one overthinking it. I mean, do you fantasize about having a pussy? In which case, like, I mean, yeah, you might want to talk to a therapist, maybe, but I don't know.
I think all the guys I remember talking to about
character.
Lineage 2, they all played as a female elf for some reason, and I think they said because
the most popular race in that game. I remember. Yeah, it was a pretty fun game, albeit bog standard.
That was like 15 years ago. Though. I think if they're still playing it, but I don't know.
I know
the mentality. They just wanted to.
No, it's. I mean, again, I need to preface this by saying, do whatever you want. I'm not here to fucking gatekeep or tell you what to do or you know, like shame you for doing it.
But we will judge.
Yeah, I'm gonna judge you. I judge everyone for everything they do.
And Chase is not gonna be your friend.
I feel like that's the reason why all of us are here today, is because our parents and our forefathers and ancestors and what have you were judgmental, and that's why they didn't get fucking beaten up by a pack of convicts or something.
Except Shineying,
I probably shouldn't use the
Shineying's
word pack.
clone, so.
Yeah, no, that's true. Soulless, yeah. But
Hey, that's offensive. That's clonophobic.
Good. I hope
Well,
so.
Chase, you haven't had the clonophobic lecture. We don't stand for that kind of shit here.
Sorry, what I was talking to my girlfriend. You fucking virgin. I'm just kidding. What if I was that much of a fucking cunt? Anytime I wanted to like put you down, I'm just like, oh, I have a girlfriend, by the way. Fucking.
We've gotten worse on this channel, so don't. Actually, recently, so don't worry about that. Oh boy.
But yeah, in short, do
I'm trying to think. What were you on about? We've had worse recently.
I think if you play a female willingly, when you have the option to play as your gender or your race or whatever, and if you just like the way that character looks more, I understand that. If you would rather not just copy paste your real life self into the game, I find it much more immersive to do that. But I guess if you absolutely hate yourself and everything about you, I can understand why you might not want to do that. However,
it really depends
like
though
myself quite a bit
on the game though. Mm-hmm. If you have a really attractive looking character and you just character created them exactly the right way, that's usually a good thing. The problem is the character creation does not translate as best as possible to the real game model, and it does not look good. Yeah. So you end up spending an extra hour just getting the face. Okay, let's just use the standard face, see if that works.
I'm never one of those people, because if I really made myself, and I have in games, like I look at a mirror and I try to match it, my character doesn't look good because I'm not a typically extremely attractive person. Like, I'm okay. I'm like a solid 6 out of 10. But when I'm playing a character and it's like an escapism thing, I want to play as like an idealized version of myself. It's me, but with a little more musculature, massive
Message
cock,
coming
of
in.
course.
Patching it through.
You know, like it's really cool, perfectly stylized hair with just the right amount of hair product at all times. Water does nothing to it, you know? Like, it's that's part of what makes it fun for me. It's just like, look, it's me, but cooler. Not like, look, I'm a black woman with extremely oversized tits. Like, that's fucking weird to me. That's my final thought on the matter.
Okay.
I know everyone is like beyond this. Everyone's like far like past this entire point.
Well, I think you've been more into the MMOs than the rest of us, so you probably know the culture a bit more than what we do. So,
yeah. Well, Chase, maybe you bragging about your girlfriend, we would just call you insecure.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe we'll judge you for that.
That's fine. I don't take myself very seriously. May have noticed.
We let Shiny go off with a handle whenever he likes. It's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Anyway, we are more than halfway done. I don't know if we're going to finish this tonight, but hopefully she'll have another argument the next minute because she tends to change topics just as much. So,
is there a reason for like the tight deadline? Like, does everyone have to run off at an exact time?
No,
not really. We just generally have a limit of 4 hours.
Yeah,
okay.
We don't want to take up too much time.
I didn't realize it's already been that long.
No, it's only almost been 2, so not bad for time. Okay. But again, sometimes we stop early just because the arguments and content has just dragged on. And with Liana, she does tend to ramble. She has much longer videos than this. So
yeah. What about the guy you were watching yesterday? That guy was who?
That was 20 minutes. He was a black dude answering calls from his, I don't know, phone account that he's apparently the poobah of all things gender related for movies or something. And people ask him, "Is it okay?"
Diversity related.
Yeah,
and people keep. Well, no, what happened was he just has a very generally racially based channel. So people just randomly call in about race issues, and he titled his video "Diversity in Movies." Why do we need more black people in films?
People will call,
and then one person, a single person, called him about, oh well, you know what? I don't know what to do. Is it more important to have a inclusive film or a diverse film? And then he just said, you could do one way, you could do the other, but why can't you do both? And then he just starts rambling on about literally anything else to do with race in another call.
One of the calls was, oh, I feel bad about recommending black creators to my black friends because that's telling them who to listen to, and that's racist because I'm white. Like something along those lines. And it is like, yeah.
Thanks for your opinion, sir. You're useless to me. That's great. Yeah, I know it's kind of a strange call-in show.
I just want to say, apologies for interrupting. Someone from the Discord just added me. Someone from the fucking Discord far away just added me. And they have like a purple alien avatar that's very feminine. I'm willing to bet this is a man who enjoys role-playing as women online. And he's very heated about what I said in this. He wants to fucking give me peace of mind. I'm going to investigate. Oh, their Twitter was suspended, so I can't pry for more information. Whatever, I'll accept you. Have at it. Have at me. Light me up. Anyway.
I'm glad you're making friends there, Chase. Always nice.
Yeah, something like that. I was just going to say briefly before we resume, because we should. I'm definitely getting a vibe of lazy fucking entitlement from this individual who, this is the first time I've ever seen them. And just the fact that they're going on and on and on and on and going off, spinning off into all these other diatribes.
An unscripted ramble.
Yes. It strikes me as someone who really wants to make a point, but they can't be fucked to like organize it or like map it out or like script it. So they're just like, I'm just going to talk on my camera.
Well, I think it's like we're halfway through the video when I feel like she's barely said anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Halo,
definitely the
Call of
impression
Duty controls, Assassin's Creed controls, Ghost of Tsushima controls. Well, you see the utility in that. You see the purpose. You see the point, right? Different people have different play styles. It emphasizes different features, everything like that, and it just feels more intuitive to play. We get stumped, and we understand that more options to a point is better. Too many options, it's a little confusing, though some games allow straight up remapping. You can just reassign a button. And that makes complete sense. And people are like, why wouldn't...
What do you mean some games? Virtually all games let you do that.
Makes sense to me.
Is there a reason she's holding the controller?
You know...
she's using it as an example. She's not actually playing it. She brought up the controller to say, gender is like a controller scheme. A game... Halo has this control scheme, and... something else, Call of Duty has a different control scheme, and some people prefer one control scheme over another, and it's exactly like gender.
Yeah, but gender is pretty fucking vastly more complicated and permanent, I want to say.
Yes.
Like it's a very flawed analogy. Like, I understand where she's trying to go with this, but...
I mean, is it that complicated, or is it like, okay, there's male, there's female, there's something else? Like, there's some
vague sort of...
Like, do you really...
It's a really bad analogy.
Really care, like, what other thing you are? Like, if you're not, like, oh, I'm not male and not female. Okay, you're the other one. Like, does anyone really care about the minutiae of, like, the details of, like, the specifics of what kind of not male and female? I feel like it really doesn't matter at that point.
I feel like this is a good place to ask this question, because you said you guys have discussed terrible things here. Is it just me, or so like you're trans, whatever? Not gonna. I don't think you're subhuman. I think you deserve rights and blah blah blah, all that stuff. Asking for insurance to cover like a fucking $30,000 surgery seems like a little bit of a stretch to me, but I don't know. I think that it's weird because as a dude, like I was actually talking to my girlfriend about this not long ago, and she's like super pro-trans because she has like trans friends, and she's like, her friend group is extremely liberal, so we constantly butt heads about this shit. And she's I actually don't remember why I brought that up. I'm very fucking tired, by the way. I apologize. But for me...
Well, you just keep wanting to bring up your girlfriend all the time.
No.
Odd flex, yo.
She's literally one of the only people I have like a social life with. So that's why she's like, anytime I have a conversation, it's likely with my girlfriend. But she, I was talking about how like it's always annoying to me when people are like, oh, I'm like, I think we were talking about the cyberpunk thing. They're like, I want to be able to be non-binary. And I was just mentioning to her, like, it doesn't really, like, usually people that say they're non-binary are like slightly tomboyish looking women that want to be able to say that I'm neither male nor female, which I usually find is kind of more of a female privilege sort of thing, because it's a lot harder for fucking dudes, especially like fat gamer dudes, which is often kind of the people who tend to transition from what I've noticed. I'm sorry if that's a horrible thing for me to say, but I've noticed the trend in like hundreds of people I've met. It's way harder for a dude to transition to a female because we're just fucking ugly. Like, guys are just inherently less attractive than women. Whereas women, it's like you have this beauty and grace and soft skin. It's like you can easily transition.
I don't know. Heavily depends on the woman.
Well,
of course.
I think female to male often are way better at passing as male.
Yeah,
the other way around. I think there's like studies on this where like they basically ask people like, what would you say this person is?
And I'm not asking this as like a loaded question to be like, fucking trans people are freaks. Like, I genuinely can't ask this question without people getting mad at me, or I can't like bring up this opinion with most people without them like getting.
One thing that's kind of irritated me sometimes is like, I don't know why exactly, but when it's like a man trying to do a more feminine voice and their voice is all breaking all the time, and it generally becomes really irritating to listen to. That's happened on a couple of videos, even a few documentaries I've watched where you have like a transgender.
You're talking about. Yeah.
I mean, like any YouTuber who does that.
I'm friends with. I think her name is just Amy, but she used to go by like Pink, and she's like an animator. She's like friends with like the Oni Plays group and stuff, the Australian person, and she used to be male, and now she transitioned and is female, and. I thought like she sounds completely like she passes 1,000% as a female now, like voice and everything. And I messaged her like, oh wow, is fucking HRT? Does that affect your voice as well? And she's like, no, that's all vocal training. And it's like, holy shit, she did a really good job. Like she went from like kind of a deep voice Australian dude to like this really cute sounding fucking like really like just the embodiment of Pink, just very very like effeminate. And so it's like I totally respect the people who can hustle and fucking really work hard and be disciplined and everything like that. I promise I had a point to that. I don't exactly remember. Like I said, I'm tired.
I think you were just flexing about your girlfriend and it leaded into this.
Someone in chat said something about. If you have like a problem with her, just like fucking get a new girl.
No. You were asking us about what are our opinions on trans people in general and how they relate to whatever our topic is. I think the whole idea behind trans people is they want to go to another gender. They want to transition.
Well, yeah.
And they don't have the necessary funds or the courage to do so or what have you, so they're stuck in between. And it's like that's a really difficult place to be sexually or personally. Because you're not comfortable with yourself, and you're
gender dysmorphia and all that.
So it's a part of waking up in the morning and saying, "Is this a problem for me every day?" It can't be that bad because you're still it. If it's really that bad, you would have done something about it by now, or you are struggling very hard to get that operation or wait for that.
Sure.
Whatever. So I don't see that too often now in Toronto, or at least in Canada. It is not uncommon to find very very feminine transsexual people who've either properly transitioned or they're on the cusp of it. And sometimes I can't even tell. Like, as you said, that person of your friend of yours is like, all the way. And I have heard of vocal training, how I remember seeing a YouTube video about 10, 15 years ago about a guy doing it. And they show how you do the high chest voice. And I remember I was watching David Suchet, and he was talking about how he did the Poirot voice. And like, there's the France, the deep French accent, and, the Belgian hello, and the very very high accent, and all how you would transition. So he says Poirot for him was a high head voice because he had to crank up his tone so high to make it sound very very friendly and light. And
it's impressive, yeah. Like as a voice actor, I'm fucking shit because I can't do any of that. I probably could if I put my mind to it, but it's like I've never put the.
Oh God, you see the range of Jennifer Hale. I'm just like, I don't know how she does that. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it sucks that Jennifer Hale is constantly fucking like typecast as just like, I am a woman. Hello, it is me, a woman. She definitely does have more range than that, but everything she voiced in, it's like 95% always the same fucking voice.
It's
it's grunts.
Always the Commander Shepard voice.
Well, no, not really. She does like little girls,
someone
little
in
boys.
Someone in chat said sounds a bit like Blair White. I have to fucking make this comment just to balance out my fucking centrism like score. I used to watch Blair White after Shu recommended her. And then I mean, I will admit Blair White definitely does pass. But do any of you guys get annoyed by Blair White constantly just like fucking pandering? Kind of like with, what's his name? The journalist guy who wears Tim Pool. Like, I don't dislike Tim Pool, but all of his content now is like, it's very clearly just like bashing on liberals like all the fucking time. And just like kind of appealing to his more like conservative audience. And I feel like Blair White's like, I walked around an extremely fucking liberal city with a Trump hat and someone fucking threw a drink in my face. Imagine my shock, you know?
I will pretend to know who the fuck you're talking about.
I know who Tim Pool is, but I don't know.
I've seen both of them, but I don't take in that content too much because I like my sanity.
I just don't really follow any political YouTubers.
She definitely passes. She definitely fucking passes as female, but I hate her personality. She's a fucking asshole. It's just such like low hanging fruit. Everything she fucking makes a video about.
There's plenty of YouTubers that do that to us. So we haven't covered her though. We haven't had any I only take recommendations from all the chat. So they're the guys who tell us what to watch. They're the ones who vote on it. And we've had Jesse Gender. We've had Patricia Taxon. We've had a few other trans. I can't recall their names. So,
I'm really starting to regret letting chat have the ability to vote for whatever the fuck we watch. I don't think democracy works, and this is the evidence.
Well, who came up with the idea? Who came up with the idea that we as a viewers can vote?
Eventually I got tired because these guys are so lazy to vote. So I just got, you know what, guys, let me just ask everyone else. And that's kind of why you guys are here too, because they're so lazy to tell me when they're ready to have a Smudcast. I don't know, I'm too busy.
Sometimes like I kind of based whenever I'm going to be on as like when everyone else is usually going to be on, and then Devil's usually busy. Then I don't know what Voice is doing. It's usually too late for Voice. Then Glib can sometimes be like asleep during this time.
I gotta go get some steak, buddy. Like, what are you doing? What is it? Where do you live? You have to go get steak at 8 in the night. I don't know. So yeah, no, it's kind of random.
Even if like you start a Smudcast with just like me and you, usually the rest will just hop on over time.
Yes, I understand.
Like that's happened more than a few times when it's just been me and you, and then all of a sudden Glib will appear, Voice will appear, Devil will appear.
It does happen, but the thing is to get you guys involved, and it's very, very difficult because Shiny will always be here and punctual if it's a Star Wars topic, which I totally understand that because you love Star Wars and I get that. But, you know, everyone has other things to talk about. So the fact that we're even covering Liana came from BB. This is his suggestion. And he's not even in this right now. And he was like, oh my God, I wish I was here. But he had to work. So whatever. I mean, I get it. People are busy. Not everything's scheduled right. I was just happy to get Chase. I was asking him for about a week or two now. And he was telling me, yeah, you're busy with life.
Yeah, guess who's gonna fucking come up in this topic?
Yeah, so it's like whoever wants to do it. I've talked to Chase before back years ago with Mahler, and that's how we met, and we just sort of forgot about each other. It's like, hey, how about that cool guy?
It's been like 1 year, you fucking hyperbolic Harry. Years.
It's pretty long ago. I can't recall.
A long time ago.
Like 1 day over a year, maybe, but that's still slightly over 1 year. It's still
okay.
Plural.
Fine. I don't know the math behind it, but sure.
Also, someone in chat said, "But Tim Pool is liberal." I mean, maybe, but I mean,
he's more of a
CNN runs unhinged show claiming Trump will form a shadow government. FBI seems to now be launching investigation of voter fraud. Trump lawyers push for martial law, demand new election due to fraud. Democrats start panicking as they realize Trump is winning. Democrats have been inflated by Chinese spies and influence. Criminal probes into Biden family confirm revealing shocking media scandal. He's just like every video he made, and I don't blame him. They're getting fucking crazy views, like 800K. But it's like, I think he realized that the centrism thing, because I do specifically remember him like touting himself as a centrist.
I think it's the same effect as the Rubin Report when he got ousted from was it the Young Turks? Like he just made his own thing, ran with it.
Dude, now Dave Rubin's such a fucking asshole. Like it's so weird because like he has such an agreeable demeanor in his videos and like on streams and stuff. But then there was this one time I realized like who he really was. There was like some fucking debate he was hosting or something, or he was like doing an interview on a stage, and a bunch of people in the fucking audience started, you know, like chanting and protesting and shit, which is like, you know, part of the course. But he got like so fucking mad, and he was just like, "Really? You guys are just gonna fucking sit there and just chant? What are you guys hoping to do? What are you promoting, huh? What sort of discourse is this creating, huh?" And just like, and then he would like pretend like he's going back to the conversation. He'd be like, "Are you guys done?" Like he just kept fucking going back. He was so very clear, like they won, and he gave it to them. And I was just like, "Oh, dude, Dave, what are you doing?" And then like he fucking started beef with like everyone that he used to be friends with on Twitter. I remember Chris Raygun mentioned that on one of the things he did with like some black guy and Tom Sweeney or whatever his name is.
Oh,
it's
wow.
Just, yeah, I don't know. I used to be super like fucking, yeah, I watch Amazing Atheist. Just watching all this fucking like, yeah, this is why feminists are dumb. I used to watch all that shit, and then I started to like look at the character of the people. I mean, Tim Pool's not that bad, right? I'm not saying he's like a fucking piece of shit. I'm just saying like it's funny to me how he very clearly like knows his target audience now, and he's embracing it as he should. But yeah, I just think Dave Rubin, he eludes me. He's an interesting character.
Oh,
I was definitely in my fucking early 20s as fuck when I started consuming all that content. Now that I'm 30, I'm just like, you're all fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's why I consume VTuber content. At least I know that I'm not being crazy.
Okay, gay.
Jokes on you.
Got him.
VTuber content is just fucking average-looking white girls. Assuming they're not Japanese. Average-looking white girls.
Did you see that clip of like the person like behind the avatar was literally having sex on stream, and like while the avatar was like the avatar was just like
bouncing up and down.
But
can you link that, please?
Pretty funny. I need to find the tweet. There's a tweet that has the clip of it. But basically,
is that for research purposes?
You can hear it in the background.
It's not on YouTube, I can tell you that.
No, but what I was saying was, it's okay. So can I fucking go off for a second? I'm fucking really mad because, I mean, that's all I've been doing this whole time. So I guess you're already expecting that from me. I'm sorry, chat, forgive me. But I'm like a big VR enthusiast. Like I have a fucking Valve Index and like fucking full body
fucking
tracking.
lucky piece of shit.
No, it's okay. I went into debt for it. I'm not a smart man, but I have all of the shit. I just need like an avatar, and I commissioned 2 avatars from 2 people. One of which was a gay dude pretending to be a girl, not like transgender, just for whatever reason decided to lie and say, "Yeah, I'm a girl," and I was like, it's kind of weird. And they ended up doing a shitty job. They made me upload it myself, which is really convoluted because you have to understand like Unity's UI and everything. And they got fucking mad at me when I didn't immediately pick up and understand like how fucking Unity's UI works. So that was an unfortunate experience.
That's why you do the work yourself.
And then, yeah, but I'm not that fucking... I want like a good avatar now, and then
I meant him, not you.
What?
I meant the other guy, not you.
Yeah. But I mean, normally you do, but they were just like, oh, well, there's all these fucking lazy people. They need to learn how to do it themselves. And I'm like, but I fucking paid you $100.
I will admit, it is quite easy to upload an avatar to VR chat through Unity.
No, it is. This was just my first time opening the program.
Oh, first time. It's like
yeah. But and so then the second person that I commissioned, this is going somewhere, I promise. The second person that I commissioned, they did an okay job, but they were like an insane borderline personality having Russian girl who like fell deeply in love with me, even though I told them that I have a girlfriend, and for whatever reason they just got really attached to me. And then they started like hot and cold. I love you. I hate you. I want to be with you. I hope you fucking die. And it was really weird. And I was like, can I just get my avatar?
Was that the really weirdly like the base kit one you gave me to try and redo, which I did a terrible job at?
No. That was a third guy who I know from a mutual friend.
Because
I remember the geometry on that was so
awful,
batshit insane.
Yeah, it was
like
super
you
low
had
poly,
some
right?
areas which were really low poly, and then other areas which were extremely high poly. It's like, what the fuck is this?
But no, he's super amateur, and I was like willing to work with him on it. But every time I wanted something changed, he'd go and he'd throw up his arms and fucking just like delay it for a week, and I have to keep nagging him. I'd be like, hey, just work on this without me tonight. And just let me know tomorrow, like, what progress you made. And the next day, there would just be nothing in my inbox. And I'm like, hey, what happened? Oh, sorry, I wasn't feeling well, so I went to bed. I just woke up. Oh, okay, well, and like literally that every single night for fucking 3 weeks. So eventually I was just like, fuck it, dude, whatever. And then I went and you try to commission any 3D model, any 3D modelers, and all of them are super busy. Like I had one quote me, yeah, I'll be free in August. And then the prices were starting at $1,000, not including props, just for like not including like visines or any sort of rigs. $1,000. And you look at
for £500, you could go to. I remember because Devil was going on Fiverr. You can get a model sculpted in ZBrush by a professional.
Yeah, no, I fucking messaged them and they said, yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do that top or whatever. Like they gave me for whatever reason, I don't think I'll be able to do this. And I was like, okay. And like, I'm not even like going to them and being like, I fucking want like a fucking race car to show up when I snap my finger. Like it's just literally like my avatar, but just, 3D. And it's just, I fucking messaged one last night and they were super agreeable, but now like they're ghosting me and it's like, they're not really responding to my messages. And I'm just asking them basic shit. Like, do you know how to use Avatar 3.0? Point is, all of you fucking VTubers who are fucking taking up all the commission slots of fucking 3D modelers so you can have your trendy little fucking bandwagon and you can make your own little fucking stream and be super ugu kawaii and act like fucking way cuter than you are. You fucking whale! I'm mad about it. That's all I want to say.
Just to reiterate, Smudcast
I want to point out
take any opinions that President Cheeseface said on his
I want to point
podcast.
out,
All opinions are his and his only.
Even though some people say otherwise, I am not a VTuber.
Yet.
I'm not, I swear to God.
Shiny,
just because you have a helmet doesn't change that. But
No. It's because I'm like I've got the motion capture suit, which I've been using virtually for the morning nonsense streams.
Yeah,
I've got like the whole virtual webcam.
So
and I may or may not be invested in face
cool
motion
shit,
capture.
and I get why people are excited for it, but all of these fucking stupid pastel fucking macaroon loving cunts. Oh, I love boba tea. I'm so fucking cute. I'm basically anime in real life. Shut up. No, you're fucking not. You're just a stupid, slightly overweight white girl that wants to redefine her online presence. And you're fucking taking up every fucking artist. And most of them are like, I have a wait list, but you have to like camp out and turn on notifications. Every fucking inane thing they retweet, you have to check it. Like, oh, is this a fucking opening in their community? For like months. And it's like, they don't have like a wait list because they don't want to get bogged down for like fucking literal years, which makes sense. But it's so frustrating, dude. I just want a fucking avatar. It's not even that complex. Just give me a fucking prefab. It doesn't even need to be from scratch at this point. Holy shit. So that's what grinds my gears lately. Thanks for listening.
All right. Well, thanks. That was always good to get off your chest there, Chase.
Was there a video we're supposed to be covering?
That's my fault.
Yeah, I know.
I am deeply sorry.
Oh yeah, the video, yeah.
Oh yeah, back to the video.
All right, she's talking about was it rape?
Point.
I think it was rape. Yeah, probably rape. Let's see.
Should be
I
hitting
think
X
something's
and
kinda
I'm
rape.
hitting square. Or square's the right answer, but I think it's to be X, so on and so forth.
The control scheme again.
We understand that intuitively when it comes to video game controls. The minute we throw gender into it, we have no point of reference beyond the binary. So our terminologies to get away from the binary invoke the binary so that people know what the fuck we're talking about. And that's when we get into the issue of terminology that I can see the confusion of, somebody who doesn't understand this stuff going, well, why are we trying to get away from the binary if the terms we're saying to get away from the binary invoke the binary? I get the understanding. I get the confusion. And that's the problem with the non-binary other category that indigenous populations solve better. And they've attempted to create this term NB to get away from this syntax problem, which The problem is
Toasty Danny, we get
NB
into Mecha when you
is
might.
just the letter N, the letter B, which is non-binary. It's still invoking it. The problem is the gender binary has been this.
We're getting
thing
echo
for
on
so
your
many
mic.
thousands of years in, European society, that people don't even like the term cisgender. Any change to it is just people just react to the change because they're reacting to a change, right? Which sucks.
No, why people react to cisgender is because it's using to refer to a norm, and it's always used as like almost an insult. And I know, what was it? I'm trying to remember his name now. Shatner. Shatner tried to. He had this argument about, I don't know, the word cis on Twitter, and he made the argument, which I completely agree with, is that while the word cis may not like directly be an insult, neither is the word black or Jew or all these other things, which can become insults.
Yeah,
like even the
cis
word
is kind
retard.
of loaded at this point. Like, remember that fucking the girl who shaved her head and had the black lipstick, and she's like, "Fuck cis scum," that every fucking anti-SJW YouTuber would like use, and they're like crazy feminist compilations and shit. Like, it's very hard as like a cisgendered white person to not hear cis as like something like vaguely pejorative.
Didn't she like stop being like that crazy?
Yeah, I heard she like had sex with a guy, and then that like sorted all the crazy out. I don't know. That's just what I heard. It's probably wrong, but it's funny. That's the more important part.
Oh boy. Oh, I totally forgot these super chats. I'm so sorry about that, Alex. Misaka Clone Lives Matter.
Message coming
in.
in.
Hi, Shiny.
Patching it through.
If you don't know, Misaka, that's anime about, well, she's a clone herself, so don't worry about it. It's okay, Shiny. I know you don't get anime too much, but that's fine.
Fuck anime. It's full of simps.
Alex Halo again. I
said that. It's full of simps.
Star Wars
Anime
is fucking
fans are
boring. You're
simps.
moving around your lightsaber cock. Fuck you. You're bored. Go back to
And what
Harry
makes
Potter.
anime better?
Gundam did it better.
Star Wars is one thing. Anime is fucking 3 million things. I win.
It's still bigger and better.
No. Your helmet's dumb. Fuck
Everyone
you.
loves giant robots with that.
So is your face and your
exactly.
shitty low poly, high poly avatar.
Go on.
Anyway.
That hurt.
I can tell he won't like me, smiley face. Also, try the Japanese model makers. They are always open, usually way faster, and I think some speak English. I didn't know that. That's great. Thanks for the heads up. I don't know where you would go to find those guys on like Fiverr or something, but if they're Japanese, I guess they have their own version of that. Not that, you're that desperate for that sort of models, so maybe they're amazing.
Japanese model makers, they're always open.
They could be amazing.
I have heard that actually, but it's so weird because everyone has a fucking hang up. Also, I appreciate it, Alex. Everyone has a fucking weird hang up because it's like, oh yeah, I'm totally free and I work really fast. Also, I don't do from scratch. I just have a bunch of fucking prefabs, so you're gonna look like literally 99% of the greater VR chat populace.
I really don't like prefabs.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I mean, what you need to do, Shiny, is you need to get just like fucking really good at this stuff, and I will make you a very rich man, and then we'll have like a beautiful friendship.
Like, I've got like so many things I've got to learn. So there's like ZBrush, and then Nuke, and then there's Substance Painter, and Mari, and Maya, and Unreal Engine, and on top of that, I want to make videos, and then I've got coursework to do. I've always got so many things.
Isn't ZBrush just for texturing?
Sculpting.
What? No, that's Substance Painter.
Oh.
ZBrush is for sculpting models. It's a software which is very specialized for sculpting things.
Use Blender. You don't have to fucking...
No, because Blender ain't sculpting. It's usually for poly modeling.
You don't have to become the fucking Trent Reznor of 3D modeling. You can just do the most common one, and that's fucking great. You don't need to spread yourself so thin to be a prodigy.
Anything in... because usually when you're doing something in Blender or Maya... which are the same kind of software. It's usually something like hard surface modeling when you're manually sculpting each individual polygon and then swing for a face, you're smoothing it down. But ZBrush is actually like you put a blob of polygons in a sphere and then you slowly use the tools to deform it out. It has it's very good at using big amounts of polygons. So it means you can create very high poly things. You can then decimate it and put that into Substance Painter, and then you can bake the higher poly details into a lower poly mesh, and that will then be on the normal texture map, and that's how most people make normal texture maps.
Okay, yeah. I don't really care about the details. I just want a fucking avatar, honestly. I'm just so tilted at this point. I've gone through literally like fucking 8 different avatar artists, and they always have, it's either extremely fucking expensive or they're going to take an entire year to get it done. Or in this one case, the fucking person that they were like, it's going to be $400 like starting point. I'm like, that's fine, whatever. Like your art's really good, it's worth it. And then they just started ghosting every single message that I sent. Like I'm on their Trello as like the next commission. It was due October 11th. I'm like, hey, it's been 2 months. Like, I don't think it's unreasonable for me to ask for like a response. And they just left me on red. I'm just like, fuck you. So retarded. And everyone I've talked, like I have a friend named Sarah that I've known for like a decade, and she's really into VR chat, stuff like that. It's really she's like, she ended up just picking up modeling herself because she got tired of trying to find the right person. And I told her like, yeah, it seems like every fucking 3D modeler under the sun is this massive diva with an ego who like wants everything to be just so, and they don't tolerate shit from anyone. She's like, yeah, pretty much all of them are like that, and I don't know why. So it's just it's a fucking nightmare. I think they let it get to their head because they're like,
I think a lot of the people
VR chat content.
It's the kind of people who are making VR chat content, because I've met a lot of people who are very much like they create these stuff exclusively for VR chat, and because they make it for VR chat, like things like maps and character models, they somehow just feel better than everyone else. But usually the actual professionals who are modeling and all that shit, they're doing stuff in the industry, or they're, you know, actually students learning, or they're just quietly sitting in the corner and it's difficult to get contact with.
Yeah, they actually have like a professional reserve and everything. Like they fucking know how to do their shit. But that's the thing, if you find someone like that in the community who's willing to do like a fucking, you know, like an MMD model or like whatever kind of model, they have this fucking, like, they want like $2,000 for it. And if you tell them like that's too much, if you tell them like that's too much for me, they act all fucking like, well, I'm not gonna get paid in exposure. It's like, no, dude, I'm just a fucking YouTuber audio engineer. Like, I don't make that fucking much. Jesus Christ.
Anyway, guys, let's get back on topic, shall we?
Well, it's just a quick question. I've never really been outside the.
We will get back to
I spent a lot of time in VR chat, but I was only ever in like one group of the Imperials of VR chat. So it's like the big military RP group, and I never really understand what is so appealing about VR chat outside of those groups. Though I will admit the combat system in VR chat is dog shit.
It's just literally like the only true like worthwhile investment for VR, because brief story, and we'll get back to the video. I watched a YouTuber back in the day called Nags21, and he's like this guy from Jersey or some shit. And he's great. He's fucking... Yeah, he was the entire reason I got like obsessed with VR, because I just saw him playing and making a bunch of friends and going on crazy adventures in all these worlds and like making up his own little backstories and role playing, like light role play, you know, goofing around, having fun. And he seemed like a nice guy, very amicable. And they just stopped making VR content, and now he's like a variety streamer on Twitch who like caps out at 300 people. And you know, good for him. He's fun and everything. But I thought it was way more interesting to watch him play VR chat and like break things in his room, because he had no like standing space with his original like base Oculus Rift. And so it's just like, you know, and then people made him, because he's a fucking streamer, so someone made him like a super dope fucking custom avatar of his character Joey Bagels, which is just the fucking like mafia costume for Leon in Resident Evil 4. But they made that, but like they made it cool and anime looking, and it's just like, if you're a big streamer and you have a lot of fans, people will fucking like get on their knees to make you a modeler. But if you're just some dude that they haven't heard of, they're just like, you are fucking scum beneath my feet. You are subhuman. Pay me $1,000 right fucking now. It's just, it's such cancer. Someone in chat made a good point. They said, 3D modelers aren't appreciated and don't make a lot. I fucking appreciate 3D modelers. It's got to be because VTuber is such a huge hit now. Yeah, I don't know if you were here earlier, Mark. I was saying that. Fucking VTubers have completely... It's like, remember back when the 1080 Ti graphics card came out and you couldn't fucking find one anywhere because all these fucking retard Bitcoin miners were like, I need to have the best fucking graphics card. It's like that. It's literally that again. Awful. Anyway, the end.
Let's keep going, guys.
Video. Let's go.
But it's the reality. We're going to get stuck with these terms, but stop thinking about it that way. think of it as genders 1 through 5. Now, how do we define those genders 1 through 5? Well, cisgender, transgender, male, female, split right down the middle. Like, don't get distracted by the term non-binary.
That's 4,
It's
not 5.
Option A, option B, option C. Yes, the option B is a midpoint between option A and option C, but
Surely, if you're transgender, that's not like a 3rd or 4th gender. That's just going to the other gender. So there's still 2 genders.
Yes,
I thought that was the whole point of the word
sense.
cis.
I know some people would definitely be offended at the idea that because they would go, no, trans women are women. How dare you say they're a different gender? There's some third thing. Yeah,
that's something I was going to say earlier. Is that I feel like, and correct me if I'm the only one that feels this way. To me, there's biologically male, biologically female. I guess agender, asexual, whatever. I guess that sexual is not gender, but and then there's like this group.
Isn't that like an orientation?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, that's why I corrected myself. Asexuality is not a gender, but yeah, I also do apologize for how much I'm talking. I'm extremely fucking like stressed and tired, and my mind tends to race when I do that. So
Don't worry, we have a lot of tangents on the Smudcast.
Okay. Chat seems to be
Don't be like me. Don't
bandwagoning against me right now. But oh boy, and oh god, another rant.
You think they're bandwagoning against you?
Shut
Wait
up.
till me and Glib get into an argument.
Chase, can you talk about something again? This video is so boring. But I was just gonna say, I always view it as like there's male, female, like biologically, and then the middle group of trans people, or like agendered, like non-binary or whatever. And to me, as a white dude, maybe that's like my privilege or whatever. I just view that as like this fucking weird world that like I don't really care enough to like make friends from those circles, because then I'll just hear about fucking gender like every single day for like 8,000 years.
I just don't see the purpose of it. Like,
yeah,
why does that make your life easier to have some extra thing? Like, I get that, like when they say gender non-conforming, I go like, okay, just don't conform to the stereotypes. Like, just do that. Nobody like.
Yeah, I mean, what I was.
syllable.
Yeah, all I was trying to get at was like, to me, there's like male, female, and then there's like this weird middle group where it's like, if you're male to female transgender or female to male transgender, it's like that's fine, that's valid and everything. But in my mind, I don't go, oh, that's a biological female. I go, no, that's like this different category where you used to be male and now you're female. So you're like a weird hybrid. Like, I know that sounds really like fucking closed-minded, and I don't mean it in any sort of bigoted or hateful way. But just to me, growing up my entire life, that's always been the way,
yeah,
even now.
We don't actually live in the world of Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I wish.
Where you
That'd
can
be
just
cool.
actually change your whole body that well, I guess. Like, it's always going to be imperfect imitation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just, yeah, it's very, very,
But obviously, that ain't enough. We
crazy
need
world.
more. We need more than him and slash her. We need all the pronouns.
I always viewed people by their personalities and who they were. Like, if this person was an asshole or not. That's all I really cared to know.
Was that what people
somebody.
were crying about? Like, they couldn't have a non-binary character inside Cyberpunk?
I thought that was so
literally,
funny.
Like, one of the sentences was like, you can't say that gender can be identified by any trait. Like,
Oh, it was voice. Voice
I know,
was
I
the
know.
thing which was identifying your character.
They were saying it's problematic for you to say that there's any trait that identifies a gender.
Yeah.
And then it's like, at that
So I guess
point,
we
it's
should all be
like
wooden planks then, huh?
nothing.
I mean, I just,
So what's the point
this is one
then?
of the things I was arguing with about my girlfriend is like, I was trying to tell her that like the reason why male and female have been prevalent for so long is because they are like visibly and audibly distinguishable.
I think they're
If you're-
useful.
If you're a female and you say, "Oh, I'm a male," but you look like a female and sound like a female, if people mistake you for a female, they're not trying to be an asshole. It's just that's literally what like 99% of the rest of
you
society
can't
until
expect
recently has
people to
operated off of.
assume that you're the exception.
Yeah,
just on
yeah.
first meeting them, you can't just expect them to assume that you might be an exception. I think that's just not practical.
Some of my closest friends who have actually helped me to understand like transgenderism and how all that stuff works. Also, why was my audio sensitivity being automatically input really fucking weird? Do I sound okay to you guys? Am I too loud? Am I too
You
quiet?
sound fine.
A bit loud.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, cool. I'll turn it down a little bit. Yeah, I have trans friends who are like, I prefer they them pronouns, but like don't worry about it. I love those people because it's like they understand that like it's not the most important thing to like the entire fucking planet.
Do you also have plenty of black friends?
What'd you say?
So you have plenty of trans friends. Is that you have plenty of black friends as well?
Handful. I mean, I just make friends.
I'm joking because never mind. Fuck off.
Yeah, there was no indication you were joking at all. But
I, for one, have 0 black friends. I don't have a single.
Well, I was joking about like how some people say, "Oh, I'm not racist. I have plenty of black friends." That kind of meme.
I just want to say that I will vote Obama for the 3rd term if I could.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if that makes you retire. No, let's continue.
I'm racist. Just ask my black friends. I'm really racist. Just ask my black friends.
It's funny because for me, it like your race or your gender has absolutely no bearing on whether or not I'm interested in you. It's whether or not you have good taste in fucking video games or anime or like you're an insufferable piece of shit. Like,
unless you're a female comedian, then. Yeah.
Chat. Oh, absolutely. Chat, I completely get it. I know I'm abrasive and often disagreeable, but I'd rather be that and have people like me for who I am than try to fucking pander and be like, I can respect that. I'm extremely intelligent video essayist man, and I'm very smart. I didn't need to go to Harvard because I'm already that smart. Like if I fucking tried to do that Crown Tea bullshit or whatever, that'd be super cringe. But I'm just a fucking retard sometimes, so pardon me for my occasional outbursts. I love you. But yeah, no, I think that like I did have a black friend in college who was like my closest friend, but it was because he grew up like super like in a super safe suburban environment. We both enjoyed like .hack GU and a bunch of fucking RPGs and Japanese games and anime and stuff.
Oh, thank God.
He was not your typical black man. But yeah, I mean, just I usually
did he like Dragon Ball Z?
Asian people and white people because we tend to like the same games and stuff, and same communication style.
Video, let's go.
Yes,
let's go. Let's do it.
It still is identifiable enough that it's its own set of characteristics.
Sure.
And that's the problem with this idea of non-binary being, well, you're not male, you're not female. What are you? In indigenous cultures, there's a term for it.
I don't care.
In Christian enforced...
I don't care about indigenous cultures.
European extraction cultures.
Are they still here?
You don't have a word.
Should we?
And for abstract thinkers like me, you don't need a word. You make up your own word. You're like, okay, well, that's the Assassin's Creed control scheme versus the Halo and the Call of Duty control scheme.
Stop it with the fucking control scheme analogy. It's a bad analogy. It doesn't work.
But I
feel like
think
you should just skip the analogy.
that because you guys are gamers, you'll get it.
As a gamer.
No, because it's a shit analogy. No one's going to get
Shiny, you're just not an abstract thinker. Come on, you have to listen to her, man.
My father was a gamer.
Welcome to my gamer pad.
This is my a bit of a gamer cave, if you will.
Not many girls come here because I get friend zoned so frequently.
Literally and figuratively.
We live in a gamer society. Rise up.
No boobies
have
allowed.
That, what do you call it? The fan dub of Sonic. Have you seen that?
The fan dub of the movie?
What is it?
It's like a fan dub of one of the Sonic games.
Oh, the games.
Maybe people in chat will know it.
Oh, you mean where people the
people
super forced one where they're all like cracking up in a Discord call and talking over each other? Everyone fucking links that shit like 800 times a month. Like, oh my god, have you seen this? Like, it's the most fucking. It's literally just a bunch of like. I get it. It's funny at first, but they're talking about like TikTok and fucking.
No, I think
my Snapchat and whatever.
That one scene is funny.
It's just
as a gamer, I don't get respect.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I couldn't make it past the first fucking minute of the fucking peanut gallery having to go like every 3 seconds. Like, oh, we're so funny. We're going to post this on YouTube. It's going to be And it did. It blew up. It got like fucking 3 million views. And when all you have to do is improv things, what's that show called that everyone and their mom loves where it's like the dude and the robot?
Whose line is it anyway?
No, it's the
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah. MST, yeah. Like, it's just that, but like worse. I don't know. I'm an asshole also, if you haven't realized. Like, I'm very hard to please. So, it doesn't necessarily denote low quality if I don't like something.
a few more recognized gender options are basically just creating a greater set of options of control schematics that are very quick. You just blip blip. You know, it's a few pushes of a button or a few tweaks of a stick.
Okay, so making genders which fit better, like creating different
Just the press of a
control
button.
schemes
Why
that
do we
work
need
better
like
for people.
It's like we don't need custom pronouns for every single person who wants their own like special identity. This just seems excessive. Like, what is the need at some point? At some point, it's not actually describing anything about you at that point.
You could say at that point it's pointless.
Yeah, you almost hang on a minute. Something not right about that sentence.
I'm just trying to wrap my brain around the 5. She said there were 5, and like there's male, female.
Like there's
Yeah, she said there was 5,
middle.
and then she said there's male, female, trans, and another one, and it's like that's 4.
I think there was a slip up here.
I think she's like there's cis male, cis female, trans female, and then just the other one. Like the
what's the other one?
It was just whatever.
What's the Viv?
Non-binary, I guess.
She said something like between.
Yeah, it's like I think she said NB, but just like non-binary. But basically like something in the middle, I guess, is what she's saying.
Fifth gender, all the gender.
I am all the genders.
Robo-gender.
And you're there. Halo, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Tsushima.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to think of a third one, but I'm sure there's a shooter.
You know, actually, in games, it's very rare that I'll like customize the controls. Like usually, I'll just stick with the controls I'm given because I can very easily adapt to it. Like sometimes I'll
the controls in like Smash.
I'll sometimes change, like if it's inverted or not. I don't like inverted. I can't stand it. Or it's like sometimes I'll maybe map something to a mouse. Because I've got extra buttons on my mouse, so I'll just have, okay, so if I want inventory or melee to be on my thumb button, I'll just put it on there. That's the only thing I'll change. But I've never had like a need to desperately change all the control schemes to be the exact same control scheme. I mean, sometimes you can have shit control schemes, like, for example, Grand Theft Auto has a very terrible control scheme for controlling helicopters and planes on mouse and keyboard. It is almost impossible to do. Get your get a Xbox controller. I legit got an Xbox controller just for GTA.
No one talks about how
the GoldenEye controls aren't that good. Like the original GoldenEye on Nintendo 64.
Yeah, it was awful.
Like,
it was just like perfect
like
dark settings. Yeah. I was also gonna say, someone in chat said, male gender is a shooter.
First person shooter, yeah.
I had a friend who made an argument in favor of inverted controls for like shooters, and that makes sense to me. I still don't use it, but he said, "Oh yeah, like when you tilt, like think of it like your neck, like when you move down on the controller on the control stick, then like you look up." And I was just like, "Yeah, I guess that makes sense." So like for some games, I'll get used to them. I guess it depends on whether or not it's set as like the default setting. Like some games will have like the Y-axis normal and the Z-axis inverted. And then when I go back thinking, oh, I don't want any inversion, then it feels super alien. But overall, if you like inverted controls, fuck you. You're actually Hitler.
So many people are messaging me right now about the Bad Batch trailer which dropped earlier today.
Bad Batch?
For it's Star Wars. It's a new animated series, a spin-off of the Clone Wars. I've only just heard of it after the stream started, so I honestly can't tell.
Yeah, they just announced like a bunch of new Star Wars shows, TV shows, and what's so like. So I'm getting it as well, like from what I'm seeing right now. I think they announced like what was the guy's name in Rogue One? The Calrissian.
Fuck. No, it's
guy make accent as Mike Media. Well, it's okay,
I know you're talking about it's.
Okay. It says here Andor, spells Andor, but they announced like a bunch of
Cassian Andor. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you. And what we have here: Star Wars: The Acolyte, Star Wars: Rogue Squadron, Star Wars: A Droid Story, Star Wars Visions, Star Wars: Rangers of the New Republic, Willow, spells Williw, and that's about it. Oh, and standalone Lando Star Wars story.
Jeez.
Very few of those sound good, if not none of them. Okay, so Star Wars Visions is an original animated short film to celebrate the galaxy's lens through the lens of Japanese anime creators. Set to debut in 2020. Didn't they already do that? Like a whole anime thing with Star Wars.
They did a manga.
I can't remember the exact title.
They're still
I
doing
think
the
those were
manga.
like shorts that came out a
Yeah,
while.
those were shorts. Oh, I suppose these are original animations in terms of like a new story. But there's Lando, the galaxy's favorite scoundrel, Lando Calrissian, will return in a brand new event for season or series for Disney Plus. Justin Simon will play the early stages of the project. Acolytes brings a new Star Wars series to Disney Plus. That's a mystery thriller that takes place during the galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. Oh fuck, it's a High Republic series. God damn it! And then a droid story, which is
interesting.
A Lucasfilm animation, or Lucasfilm Animation is teaming up with Lucasfilm visual effects team Industrial Lights and Magic to develop Star Wars: An Adventure for Disney Plus. This epic journey will introduce us to new heroes guided by R2-D2 and C-3PO. Well, sounds like in terms of making it better for Lucasfilm Animation, I think that's probably a good thing. But in terms of the actual show itself, I don't think that's going to be very good in terms of I don't think it's going to be well written, but at least in Lucasfilm Animation we'll get some experience from Industrial Lights and Magic professionals.
Just can't wait for the Star Wars a droid story when we finally get some of those droids very droid civil rights. I just can't wait.
I hope they drop the civil rights plot because it is dumbass as fuck.
You know they won't. They won't.
But it's so stupid.
So
even if a droid is sentient, the purpose in life is to be a droid. Like if you are a protocol droid, like R2-D2, you could say he is very close to being human. He is very much self-aware, but yet he is still a droid designed for a purpose. So all he cares about is fulfilling his purpose as a droid, even if he's intelligent. Coming in. So it doesn't make sense why he's screaming to be, to get the right to vote. A Red Lightning is asking, what is the High Republic? And no, it is not the prequels. It is something infinitely more retarded.
It is prequel based content, but it's really before like
it's set 500 years.
Yeah, it's very far in the past, and I did not like the idea that they all sort of are swinging their swords up in the air as if there's some sort of medieval group, as if they're clanging weapons together. It's like this
Knights of the Round Table.
It looks odd. You don't swing these things like they're toys, or you're trying to make a sound effect to clash them together. These are very deadly, lethal weapons. You don't swing these things like they're just toys or representative stuff. And I never liked that line in the prequels where they said it was your life. I'm like, that's not a lightsaber's not a Jedi's life. That's just a tool.
Well, I think it's in terms. I know it's a stupid line, but in terms of this weapon is your life, this weapon is going to make sure that you don't die.
Right. I understood that way, but it comes off too literally, which is really not what the original films showcased the weapon as. It was just a tool. So I did not like that obsession with the lightsaber, let alone the weapon as this big thing that makes a big deal. It's the crystal in the lightsaber that makes a big deal, not the weapon itself. The resonance, the thing you connect with in your environment and the people around you, and all the other connections that a Jedi would make a connection with, because they are all about peace and prosperity and
to better better explain the High Republic for a lot of people, is that it was Lucasfilm's project to create a whole new multimedia era in Disney Star Wars. So there's going to be multiple books written about it. There's going to be multiple comics. They want an animated series, which I suppose they have now, based towards the end of the High Republic era. And it's just so stupid, and it's not going to work at all. They want dinosaurs. They have raiders, and like they say, "Oh, look, we're so special because we have raiders." It's like so does so many other franchise. Give us more. It's like, oh, the Jedi are fearful of this really fuck ugly plant, and it's like, oh,
yeah. Some of the ideas on the whiteboard,
Poison Ivy would come up with that. It doesn't look Star Wars.
It was at the ranch, I believe. They did all the writing, not the writing. They got together one day for a photo shoot. That's about all we know. And they were like putting stuff on a whiteboard, saying, "Oh, it's this and that," and some of those connections did not even make too much sense, let alone want to write about them. Then they had an artist come in and draw some pictures. The pictures look really bad. And then only a few months ago, they redid them to make them look reasonably more attractive. And it's just like, this is backwards thinking almost. But I don't know what was...
See if I can find the whiteboard.
Yeah, I took a photo.
Okay, here's the whiteboard.
Oh, you got it?
So they put diversity on there twice, which is hilarious.
Fiction.
I don't think you can see it. Well. So... so they've got in fiction diversity and Star Wars wishes. You can go down there and you've got representation and diversity. So they've got it on twice. Not pro-war, droid, scope, mythic, space, lightsaber battles, or space battles and lightsaber battles. No single main character. The Force. Surprise, that's one of the things they want. An actual ending, feelings, relatable characters. That's just so generic. There's nothing connecting any of these things. They haven't got a storyline. They've just jotted random things down incoherently.
Hey, you know who did most of that better? Gundam.
Bullshit.
Yes.
Which Gundam? All of them?
Obviously the UC, all of the
UC, we don't talk about C.
Oh, all right.
We don't talk about this.
If you say so. All right, anyway, let's keep on going. Alex, Halo, Japan started the VTuber Idols with Kizuna AI in 2016. Really, that long ago? Jeez, where were we? I don't remember that. Kizuna AI.
I remember that.
Well, I do not.
I've never really gotten into VTubers or anything like that because I don't know. I'd rather watch like normal people instead of like a bunch of fucking people trying to act like they're super ugu kawaii. Like, it's just weird to me.
It's
like,
kind of cringe.
Yeah, maybe it's because I'm getting older and it's like, anime that I would have found like really funny or adorable. Like, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, for example, is a very good anime. But they have those moments where like the people get like, they get the little fucking V, like the little upside or the little W mouth where they act like, ooh, I'm fucking chibi now. Oh, everything's so wacky. And we're all like small on the screen and violence is happening. Like weird little shit like that really pulls me out of it. And I'm just
a friend of mine,
I
he's
might have
like
liked
that
this
too.
a decade ago, but
that's why he likes Hellsing, because ain't much
The
of
only
that.
knowledge I have of VTubers is so in LiteratureDevil's Discord for Morning Nonsense, we have a stream clip submission, so people can put clips that they want us to, or suggest a show. So like LitDev can play it any moment. So like when we're just got some person talking shit, we can just play the clip. This man has no dick, and then that just plays along. And a lot of the people, specifically Alex Halo, you fucking little shit, keeps trying to request VTuber memes or VTuber clips. And yeah, they all just seem they seem really cringe.
Okay.
A good video on it is I think Giguk's video. I think he has a video on it. If you know who Giguk.
Oh yeah, we all do. Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't really watch anime tubers because it seems like a cult of personality kind of thing.
I think Giguk is.
I think there's people who go for VTubers are the same kind of people that subscribe to what's that service again? The OnlyFans. That's it.
Really?
I was gonna say Pornhub. Yeah.
Same idea. Okay, Mad Ghost 4. I don't want Disney anywhere near Rogue Squadron. Yeah, that's the only one that sounded reasonable to me, because we all know Rogue Squadron, we all know X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, that sort of gaming in the 90s. Might be great. I don't know. What happened to that game that was like 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 between the Rebels and the Imperials? What was the what was that? Was that Rogue Squadron or was that something else?
Was that Battlefield?
You mean the new one?
The new one, yeah.
That was Star Wars Squadrons.
Star Wars Squadrons. Okay. Slightly different name. Didn't turn out so well, apparently.
Did that come out?
I mean, the stories are completely abysmal, and the gameplay is not much of a change from the Battlefront 2 game. Only that it's quite less because you now stuck to a first-person perspective, and that's kind of shit to play on a desktop. But in VR, it's a very good experience to play Squadrons. They just didn't. It's not. They haven't changed it enough. Like, it's not designed for VR players, which is the biggest issue with playing in VR with Squadrons, because cutscenes will just be changed to like a screen. Like they'll play cutscenes as a little TV in front of you, and it's like, I don't want to play cutscenes like this.
Everyone I've heard like weigh in on Star Wars Squadrons critically, they all kind of just say the same thing, that like the actual starfield you fight in feels really fucking small. Is that true?
Yeah.
Isn't it also that in the Squadron you only have like 1 or 2 modes, so like people get really tired of those pretty quick?
Yeah, there's capital ship battles which have lots of AI, and you're trying to take out a capital ship, and dogfights where your purpose is to try and kill the team more than they kill you, and it's the kill to death ratio kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
the story.
I really like the idea. Like, someone apparently made like a fucking Ace Combat sort of like VR capable game or whatever that looks pretty fun, but apparently like all the visual indicators for it are really weak and lacking. Like missiles are really small and hard to see, and just the UI is really complicated. But man, that's something I really want to talk about. Like, I'm planning on doing a big VR video, which is why I'm so upset that I'm like having such a fucking rough time finding an artist. Because that'd be the last thing I mentioned. Is like, oh, it's just my fucking apartment in VR chat. Here's my avatar in VR chat. There's so much interesting shit to consider about the design aspect of it. Like, the reason why we haven't had a successful VR MMO is because in MMOs usually you're fighting like big dragons and shit. So now imagine doing that with hack and slash combat in first person.
Well,
like,
another problem is that an MMOs are already huge projects to undertake, and they're very expensive.
Yeah, they cost a lot.
And
too,
then you put that on top of VR. VR becomes a huge, much more expensive, technically difficult project. And then you're trying to jam these two together with a smaller player base, because obviously most MMOs are supported by very general audiences of gamers. So like, there's plenty of people in the PC gaming field to support World of Warcraft. The same with Star Wars: The Republic, even though that's dying now, and so many other MMOs. But you just don't have that crowd with VR. But I suppose things will change now. Lots of people are getting in Quest 2s. I think Oculus now has like 60% of VR headsets on Steam, which is pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, because it's just, all you need is a fucking... Didn't you say it's like a USB Type-C cable or something like that? And suddenly you have a fully functioning desktop, like, VR headset?
Yeah. It's only like £300, because unless you care about, I don't know, getting an extra £100 to get some extra memory on there, I don't really install the games on the headset itself.
Yeah.
Because why the hell would you limit yourself to this hunk of shit when you have really ace PC?
I'm planning on, I think I mentioned this to you, but I'm planning on getting it for, take a guess, my girlfriend, so that we can play like No Man's Sky or whatever, because she's really into like space shit and whatever else, and I think she'd enjoy it. It's way more accessible, because every time someone asks me, like you, Shiny, every time someone asks me like, what's the best VR headset to get, I'm like, well, the Valve Index, but it's $1,000, and like, you could do what I did and buy like a base fucking Vive for like $400 used or whatever. Realize the resolution, the audio quality, the mic quality, everything is complete fucking ass, like the refresh rate, everything. And then go, oh, I guess I need to upgrade and get something better because I really like this medium. Then now you're like $1,500 in the hole because you had to like cheap out initially. So
I think the chat
it's rough.
I've got something really similar with motion capture with VR, because instead of like getting really into deep debt with VR, I'm now getting into debt with
Spider-Man, for instance. There's our 5.
Yep.
You can pretty much play every single game on the planet with one of those 5, right?
I like how you're just ignoring the fact that the video is playing and they're trying to like move on.
They all emphasize slightly different things. In some you have to run and jump, and some you don't. In some it's more focused on the gunplay. Others it's more manipulation and grappling and all that stuff. Gender works the same way. Certain control schematics
it'd probably work a lot better
in certain social roles, certain things you have to do within the game world we call life. It works exactly the same way.
Also, funny enough, No Man's Sky actually does the control scheme of...
We refer to it as Halo, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Tsushima, Spider-Man controls, right? All of a sudden, people freak out when we start with, instead of Halo and Call of Duty like I did, with male and female. All of a sudden, people become essentialists. And, well, there's innate qualities to womanhood. Yeah, there's innate qualities to Halo. There's certain things that make something a Halo game. You make a Halo...
People have a problem when you go from control schemes to gender because they are not equatable.
Look, literally the only fucking issue I have with any sort of like diversity in games is that this used to be a thing that I was fucking bullied and was fucking beaten the shit out of just because I like Zelda and shit, like as a kid. Now, every fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry and Sally is like, I'm a gamer, I love anime. It's like fucking cool to like this shit now. So excuse me if I'm not exactly fucking jumping, fucking biting at the fucking whatever, however the phrase goes, to just believe
chomping
at the bit to believe that you're not just some fucking bandwagon hopper. And like, look, I get it, whatever. You like video games, I don't care. But as soon as you like walk into a space that I've occupied for the last fucking 30 years and start, saying that I am the fucking problem and that I need to adapt to like you and your sensibilities and your fucking flunkies, like fuck off. It doesn't mean I hate women, I mean, I know it's a bit of a diatribe. I know it's not necessarily what she was talking about, but I think that shit is so fucking obnoxious. It's like starting to talk down to people that have literally like propped up this entire fucking industry and like literally made it as sustainable and viable as it is today.
Anyone can kind of walk into a fandom, but the problem is when people start acting like they own the place. And the bigger problem is when it comes to like the actual putting diversity in the games themselves, is that a lot of these characters, I always go to the example of Bill Potts from Doctor Who, where she is literally one character trait. She is lesbian. And she reminds you constantly of her one character trait. They don't write these diverse characters like people, because they think, oh, look, it's a diverse character. That's all we need. It's done. It's like, no. That's not how you write a character. If you're going to write a black character, you don't just, oh, look, they're black.
Yeah, that's the rough part, is that humans are more than just what's between their legs. So it's like when you're fucking... Among Us won fucking Best Multiplayer Game of the Year award, by the way. I think that's deserved.
Sure.
It's just, I think Louis Levi did a really good point about that in one of his videos. It's like 2-3 years old or something at this point, but he talked about like how do you show that this character is transgender without like showing them fucking naked. I mean, I think that Dragon Age 2 had like some interesting things to say about that, where it's like, this one person's like they're female to male, and if there's an option to be like, no, but they're female, and the person's just like, well, this is how they want to be spoken to. So
I remember that there's like the opposite way of doing that. In Mass Effect Andromeda, when I was playing it, I was just going around talking to NPCs. I don't know why, because they're all just really blank. But there's this one NPC, you talk to her, and she said, I basically, she said is, I was a man in the Milky Way. I came to Andromeda so I could be a woman. What a great character. I'm sure that they just spill out their their entire life story on a whim. That's exactly what transgender people do. They tell you they're transgender at every moment.
Yeah, they actually cut it out in one of the patches for which kind of surprised me. I thought it would
probably because it was so stupid, and probably actual transgender people would get offended because it's really stupid portrayal.
I was surprised about that.
Taker610, controllers have X and Y buttons like chromosomes. I mean, if you're going to use the analogy properly, they would have to be actually functional things that a controller would represent. A male would have as an operation and a female would have as an operation. So they would run a certain distance or run a certain speed.
But I don't understand, what is the analogy here? Because it's just like, well, you have these control schemes and you have these different controls, but it's like, what does that have to do with actually living in the world?
The idea she listed was
gender.
Because of multiple games, therefore the comfort level you have with a certain game is more easy for you because you've played it so much, like Battlefield in comparison to Halo. So you'd rather
the closest I've understood with the analogy is when she said people can customize their control schemes to better fit them, and then people can change their genders to better fit them. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of seeing where you're coming from, but genders are still not controllers,
right,
and they're no way equatable.
And there's
a difference between you can I think Smud's food analogies, as much as I've grown to fucking hate them because they always keep coming up, and now I've started getting addicted to saying the food analogies, is that you know, food and media, the two things you consume, you can make lots of analogies between them and they work perfectly. It doesn't work with controllers and fucking gender.
By the way, I love the analogies.
I didn't see what else
So
it
do
changes.
I.
It's like the pronoun and what bathroom you go in. I mean, what else is there? I don't see
What if it says all gender bathrooms?
They're called bathrooms.
Well, I don't have a gender. We're not inclusive enough. Not inclusive enough. What about people who don't have a gender?
Sure, all genders, but
gender character.
What now?
If you want to represent a transgender character right, you'll make it so it's barely even noticeable that they're transgender.
I would hate to think that these people, that's all they're only identify or represented as their androgynousness or their lack of maleness or femaleness. I think there's more to people than just how they feel sexually. I think this is a very limited scope of a person, and to start having to force yourself to wrap your brain around, oh yeah, they are this creature who may not be attracted to you because of whatever gender you are, is completely irrelevant and completely personal for them to even talk about.
I wish that people would understand that you can only subdivide so many times before you get to the individual.
Yes, there's much more to it than just, are they attractive? No. Then what do you care? Why is this a problem to you? Do you really want to know why they think the way they I have no clue. There could be all kinds of women out there that are heavily in love with me and they don't tell me because they're women and they're shy and they're very secretive about that. Good for them. It's up to me to figure out that if I ever am so inclined. So if they want to, fall in love with a tree, that's up to them. I don't care. And that's their choice to feel and whatever they want to feel. The issue is becoming this weird transitory phase where people have to be a certain thing. I remember a story of a trans man going into a woman and how throughout his academic life, he was going to school as a TA or as a prof or whatever he was doing. And every month he would get different surgeries. So different things to his larynx, different things to his chest and his thighs, like certain things as life went on. And people would see this transformation. I don't remember him ever complaining about pronouns or how his people thought about him or his friends. They just said, "Oh yeah, it's Jeff. He's becoming Jessica or whatever." That was it. There was no drama. There was nothing. It was just like, this is what I want. This is what I'm doing. I go to this specialist place in the States to get the operation, and I go back every few months. And that was that. It was a very simple thing. So there's this big acceptance of it as if somehow they were persecuted, and that has nothing to do with being trans. It has to do with being different, and that's something you learn very early on in the grade and on the play park or whatever. After recess, just how to treat people. They're different. They're weird. Yeah, everyone's different and weird when you're young. So learn to respect their boundaries, and that's that. We don't need all these other words, but people are demanding it because of the past 10, 15 years, the influx of, I like to blame Canada for this mostly just because of the teaching that we've been going through our schools, teachers college and what have you. We're teaching these people to talk a certain way. and to respect people a certain way by having to use this bizarre language, which we didn't have to before. And I don't know why. We've had very strange scenarios with people with malformed hands and arms and legs and faces, and we taught them with respect. We treated them properly, and when women or young girls got pregnant in high school, we treated them with respect as well. These were all normal life conditions. Some of them were abnormal, but sometimes you lose a parent, sometimes you lose a friend, you lose an arm, a leg. These are all part of life. So why we have to be so sensitive about this topic, I don't get it. It's the same with the racial issue. When you're applying for a job in Canada, they want to know what denomination you're a part of. They don't have to put it in. You're not forced to, but they'd like to know. They want to do a census of all these values so they can say, yes, Canada has all these diversity people in it, and we are the land of immigrants, and you can just come to Canada and to be accepted. You couldn't get in if you didn't have
I would really hate to have to put my race on a job interview.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Or like a CV or anything, just to apply to somewhere. I mean, I hated it enough, having to do it on my university application.
Oh yeah, if you're applying,
because it's like, why do you need to know someone's race?
Especially,
I understand maybe a little bit gender, but race specifically. Why would you need to know about that?
All of the government institutions and funded by the government, with subsidies for the government, so schools and universities, immigration offices, that sort of thing. You have to know all this information. That's where it's mandatory. It's when you go apply to a job, it's a little bit different, but they do have government agencies to do that for you, and they want to make sure who is working for who and why and whatever. That's outside of the legal stuff. Like if you're a felon, which is kind of by law, you have to say that. Have you ever stolen anything? Have you ever been accused of this or that? For certain jobs, of course. But it's just a weird thing I've been noticing the past 7 years. When you apply to jobs online, they have this form that you have to fill out. And if it's anything related to a school or the municipal board or teaching, this is a big thing you have to check off. And now it's just the past 2 years it's been about sex and gender, which is interesting. Fran Mataraki, hello, thank you. Friggin' interspecies reviewers did this topic way better.
Coming in. Patching it through.
One of the main characters is an angel in both girl and boy parts, and they don't treat them any different. Oh, that anime. Okay, I know what you're talking about. That's
that poor thing that Funimation just dropped.
Oh, they dropped it. Oh, it's basically an anime about.
Well, they dropped it, and then the funny thing.
I'm
sorry.
What happened? Tell me. What's the story?
Well, they dropped it, and apparently just a fucking hentai anime, and they're like, "Oops, never mind."
Essentially,
Pornhub tried to play it, and then they got
sensibilities.
It's a really cute and funny little anime about these three I think 2 or 3 adventurers. 2 of them are guys. One's an elf. The other one's a hermaphrodite angel chick person. And they go to this city, or they live in the city, and there's a whole red light district. Is basically they review the services of the night, and it's just the funniest, just cutest little thing, dealing with an adult scenario in the most honest and just simplest way. And you're like, it was great, but this happened. But we're talking about monsters, like creatures in folklore and RPGs and what have you, and it's basically adult, without having to go crazy with the adult content, with the visuals and what have you. I think some of it's censored. I don't know. I only saw one episode. I thought it was.
There's a censored and uncensored version of it.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so yeah,
and Pornhub tried to play it, but Funimation kind of cease and desist.
This is Japan. It's a perfect example of Japan culture. It's like, we're going to have an anime about talking about prostitutes. It's like, fantastic. How mature Japan is to the rest. Can you imagine? I don't know who else who saw that in the Western world. They must have lost their minds when they heard about this anime coming out.
A few stations in Japan actually took it down too because it got really risque.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I personally, I get really fucking annoyed with me being annoyed. That's a new concept. I get really annoyed with anime that leans really fucking heavily on adult themes. Not because there's anything inherently wrong with it. It's all good. Free market. Do whatever you want. But I really like seinen, which is anime that's more geared towards adults and is usually kind of serious and gritty. Yeah. Like Monster is the anime I always fucking prattle on about. It's really good. very serious and
I need to rewatch
and
that.
suspenseful.
As in, like,
It's-
Naoki Urasawa?
Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not really too familiar with his other work, but I really enjoy Monster. It's
It's
probably a really good introductory anime to get people into too, if they're used to just like normal films and shit. A lot of people recommend Cowboy Bebop, but yeah, every time I see any sort of excuse me, anime that's like super goofy and lighthearted and usually shonen or usually like really try hard fan service, fucking Monster Musume, any shit like that, I'm always just like, ugh, if I want to fucking jerk off, let's go jerk off, and I'll come back and play like an
That's
actual.
what Bible Black's for.
I love some of those lines in Bible Black, like the main character. One of his lines, as he stares intently down at the girl past the camera, he goes, like verbatim, he goes, "Go on, bitch. I want to come now."
Wait, is that
says it exactly
is
like
that the
that.
English dub or is that the Japanese?
English dub, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just 30. I'm getting old. I'm fucking starting to change my sensibilities, but I don't know. I'm like super fucking picky about what anime I watch.
Should
now.
we
I don't
just
even
tally every
see
time
them.
you mention your girlfriend or your age at this point?
Oh yeah, that's fine. We don't mind.
Have you tried Black Lagoon yet?
That is.
I've heard about it.
That is more contemporary. Yes.
Is that the one with like the kind of dark skinned girl who has an Uzi and like black tank top?
She has two guns.
Yes, she's
two
Yeah, I think
whatever
so.
guns,
Yeah, sounds about
and it's basically a bunch of mobsters on
They're
an
Beretta?
illegal island, and it's they do have a few tropes like fighting a guy with a sword. He could chop through bullets, and there's a Terminator like maid who goes on a rampage to find her charge. But they're basic smaller anime tropes, but contemporary and mostly about the transition from this man who's a salaryman in Japan who gets caught up in this crime scenario. He ends up working for a small crime team.
They're basically pirates.
Yeah, they're illegal smugglers and this and that. And there's all these crazy characters around it. It's very similar, I'd say, just different tone of like Bakano, just very visceral and lots of guns. Just
I still need to watch Bakano. I hear good things. I'm actually there's this guy named Brian Massey who voiced one of the characters in the Bakano dub.
Really?
And I used to work at I used to work at like an anime dubbing studio recently, like before the pandemic, and they kind of had to shut down and lay off some people.
Mm-hmm.
I was like the newest guy, so of course like I got fucking I got taken out like first. But I actually met him in person, and he just came into the studio dressed in like a pink dress shirt. He looked really good. I just came over and I was like, you're the most well-dressed man in this entire building. And he's just like, thank you kindly, brother. And he just fucking shook my hand. That alone made me want to fucking watch the show. Just to know that like he's in that. He seemed like a cool guy.
It's the music, it's
I
the
don't know.
tone. Yeah.
Probably one of the only anime that I enjoy that's intentionally super lightweight is No Game No Life. I was talking to someone else about this on Twitter recently. I think Soapy-kun, I think is his name.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, it's always like I said, monster, fucking paranoia agent, shit like that.
Ooh, very nice. Okay, I understand where Chase is coming from. That's good to know. Mike Testa, nice try, Smud. The Angel's a boy. If you have both, both materials down there, and you sound like a girl, I mean, I would just say girl. But yeah, you're right. It is a boy as well. Anyway.
Just flat,
I
that's
think
all.
Most intersex people don't identify as some third thing. They identify as like just one, like male or female. Even if they do have both.
There's
all I know
transsex.
is if a character has a penis and you find them attractive and you claim to not be gay or bi, you're lying to yourself. It's not. If you're bi or gay and you like fucking dick girls, totally cool. But if you're like a straight dude that likes Fuda and you're like, no, I'm not gay. It's just fucking. You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. I've never understood that. I fucking love, like, I get it. It's like you'd rather look at girls than guys, but it's like, if I can see a guy in hentai, I can put myself in his shoes and be like, oh, that dick is my dick. And I'm fucking, like, it's usually why in hentai they have, like, the white silhouette character, the black silhouette character.
Or they don't even have the eyes shown.
Yeah, they don't even have eyes at all. They have, like, a mouth, and that's it.
You don't go for the ugly
Mouth and a
mouth.
dick. I don't really... Like that, I can put myself in his shoes and be like, I am having sex with this fucking hentai girl. But like, if there's two chicks and one has a dick, I'm like, that's not real. That's not a real thing. It's like people who are really, like the meaning about like, eating girls' asses. And I guess like some people genuinely do like that fetish in hentai or whatever. they've never actually been near like a real human being's ass before. They think it's like chocolate pudding or something. No, it's fucking gross.
Now I feel really sick and queasy.
Well,
you should. It's fucking
You're
awful.
not the only one.
That's
They exist in the millions.
yeah.
They buy, they vote, they drive on the roads. These are real people.
Oh boy.
My cousin is like that.
They coom.
Alex Halo, thanks again. Shiny,
That's
the VTubers I posted are also funding the equipment used to make your VR. They work for a tech company, and it's more like the Japanese idol industry. Really?
To them, how does it fund the VR industry? The VR industry is more funded by the people buying the fucking VR headsets. VTubers don't have VR headsets.
Okay, calm down, fucker.
Cover company. They started out as a little company, and then once the VTuber stuff started getting big, people started, flocking into that stuff, and they eventually became HoloLive, which is the big idol company now. Well, they started out as a tech company. They're the VTube idols that Japan has that we've been looking at now. They've got an English branch now.
Also, I think it's funny that people saw that, like, there's, like, this really interesting tweet, I'll find it if I can, of, like, a girl in a costume with, like, facial recognition technology, and she's, like, waving and talking to the camera. It looks really impressive. But everyone's like, oh, this is where VTubing is headed. This is where, like, fucking VR is going, or like streaming or whatever. But it's like, it literally says in the tweet, oh yeah, this is this girl with a fucking engineer on site, like doing this live. And it's like, yeah, I don't think most of us are gonna have that budget. I don't think that's gonna be viable for like 99% of people. Okay,
well,
you got one
people barely have a
seen
budget
this?
for a suit like mine, and then you have to have intimate knowledge of Unreal Engine. And Unreal, I remember you showing me this. But Unreal Engine,
show that on stream
spoiler
if you
alert,
can.
is really fucking difficult to learn, especially in the beginning. You've got to learn everything and all the little tweaks and all the tricks of the trade.
No, my face is moving.
Yeah.
Oh, look how her fucking knowledge of Unreal Engine.
That's pretty much,
Smoke piece of shit.
Someone in chat said, so Chase fantasizes about being another man, and they're probably being facetious, but I'll humor the argument. No, I fantasize being in the situation of having sex with a very attractive woman. It's literally as deep as it gets.
Yeah, because you don't have that in real life.
Look at that.
I mean,
No.
she's in California, so we don't get to see each other all the time.
That was cool. Pretty impressive.
Isn't that just the coolest shit, though?
Well, better than my record of long distance, I suppose.
Yeah, terrible shit times, isn't it?
I'm just lucky I found one that's not fucking absolutely batshit insane. Because, like, no matter how good I've been in past relationships, the woman will just, like, implode. And just, like,
drop you
find
after
some
7
reason
months.
to, like, destroy everything.
Well, that happens every 3 months, so you have to get used to that.
But just a question, and this is going to be probably a question more for on Stream Live, but how long has it been going?
I got here 3 hours and something.
3 hours and 20 minutes.
No, I'm talking about the... Never mind, I'll ask after stream.
Let's keep going then.
Okay.
Halo game. Third person, that's not a Halo game anymore, I claim. It's in the same universe, but it's an offshoot.
Oh.
It's not the core Halo experience, right? Yeah, then you're in Assassin's Creed, you're in Gears of War.
Message coming
Right?
in.
Third person Halo is Gears of
Attach it
War. It's a
through.
different thing. You see what I mean?
Nope.
So this idea
Third
that there are
person Halo is Gears of War,
two broad
or maybe it's
categories
just
of
not
human
Halo,
experience
because that's the first
and
person.
something like that. And we can't.
Wait, doesn't Halo have elements
you
of
know,
third
we
person when
can't
you
get
get
our
like
heads around
the cannon and
idea
stuff?
that
Yeah.
The only difference, basically,
And when you get into a vehicle, it goes third person.
Nuance aside,
Yeah.
in
And
how
the
it
Warthog,
plays, the only big difference between Halo and Gears of War is first person versus third person. Yes, the roadie run and all that, but you know what I mean. But we freak out over transgender and cisgender and claiming that transgender is not a real thing. We're getting boggled by terminology.
And yet you
That's
make
when
it more
people,
confusing.
Again, get boggled by allegedly scientific terminology, but it's
I wonder
not
why people
really.
get boggled by terminology.
It's a pseudo-religious approach to science.
What?
In treating science like it's immutable, as opposed to the best. we
Nani?
know.
Science is
Right.
immutable, apparently, or
the
not,
fact
or we
is
believe it
that-
is. Oh, we shouldn't
Being
treat
a
it like it is. I
cisgendered
don't
woman,
fucking
You
know.
get very comfortable with your body doing weird things. I understand older men have a similar experience with it, but I mean, cramps and this and that. Like anybody who says there isn't something to a body with ovaries. What? It's a unique. It's a specific experience. This is why a cisgender female identity is important. But that doesn't mean that a transgender female identity isn't. You know, Halo and Gears of War are both shooters.
I hate their demeanor. They're like, "Look, Bucko, you don't get it."
You know, they're different. And Assassin's Creed and Ghost of Tsushima are still open world games. But there are differences between them. Some people would say not that many differences, but that's what some people say about the difference between transgender men and cisgender men, right? You see how well it works?
I need to go drink.
And then I was looking for sort of a, you know, besides the big two open world control schematics, or if you want to go Assassin's Creed Far Cry, right? Because that's third person versus first person. It's a more apt comparison, and put Tsushima as that, like, catch-all. Or something like Fallout, where you can switch in between, right? You can play first person, you can play third person. There you go.
Going with this?
Wow.
When we use gaming terminologies,
The garbage, because this is trash.
words to describe things that are similar.
She's going
but
so off in
different.
circles.
Same way we came up with the term Metroidvania to
What?
describe a specific type of gameplay.
Don't touch my
or
Metro.
roguelike to describe a specific type of gameplay. People who aren't gamers are like, roguelike, what does that mean? You play as a thief? No, you have to explain, right? We know what it means. Non-gamers don't. It's in-group terminology. But gender identities work the same way.
No, they don't.
The truth is that the way medicine is going is everybody
Here's the secret:
will
if
get
you
an
make my life really
individualized
fucking
medical
complicated
profile
and lecture me all the
based on
time when I
your
include you in my
DNA.
life, I'm just not
You
going
know,
to talk to you anymore.
There are different medical
You're really
experiences within, say, the feminine or within, you know, the masculine. You know, the tragic loss of Chadwick Boseman, you know, feels a lot like, you know, losing Total Biscuit a few years ago. That we think dudes in their 30s and 40s should not die of colon cancer. There are clearly certain...
What does the death of Total Biscuit got to do with gender identity and equality? I've completely lost the track. I mean, the death of Total Biscuit is a sad thing indeed, especially at a young age. But I don't think Total Biscuit was a big advocate for gender identity or literally has anything to do with gender identity.
No offense to Total Biscuit, like, he wasn't as popular as Chadwick Boseman, who was in a freaking Black Panther who made billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, she's going on in circles. Like, we're going with this, like, she's talking about open world here there are different open worlds, like, which there are some differences, but I'm so confused.
She went from...
I'm trying to raise my thoughts right here.
Yeah,
So-
she went from saying there was a subgenre or a mix of genres with Metroidvania. And if you don't play video games, you don't know. And you're like, okay, yeah, if you don't know something, you don't know about it. It's true. And you have to explain that if you don't. But that's not the problem. This is not Metroidvania. I've never played an EGA game before. You know, it's nothing like that. It's like, it's a guy trying to be a girl and going through the phase. That's it. It's like, oh, that's weird. Do I need to know the vocabulary he's
Also-
using? Not really.
Excuse me for interrupting. I do have to be going now. It has been fun. I'm sorry I wasn't here to witness the end of this truly masterful piece of media. But I appreciate you guys for having me on, even though you're silent for like 20 full second pauses, and it makes me very anxious. I don't know if that's because we have people overseas or if I'm just really delayed.
I don't think there's much of a delay. We're just awkwardly sitting here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm used to the fucking EFAP vibe where no one fucking shuts the fuck up. Lets anyone talk. There's never like a pause for longer than like 2 seconds.
Usually we do have massive tangents and don't shut the fuck up. But I suppose if there's room, we could add you to Smudcast proper.
Yeah,
this
sure.
is just an extra one we make for like adding the normies, the low lives in.
Oh.
And the degenerates, don't forget us.
Yes.
No, it's all good. Yeah. No, I'll totally join. Just send me a link and I'm gonna...
Okay, Chase, no problem.
I'm gonna go watch the Game Awards, and play Final Fantasy 11, the best MMO ever, better than Final Fantasy 14. If you want to fucking play it with me, hit me up on Twitter. I'll make it happen. Just saying. But otherwise, no. It's I'm absolutely exhausted. I had a very, very stressful day today, so it was fun to kind of unwind and chill out with you guys. But thanks for having me.
All right.
And I will.
Well, that's what it is at the end of the day. Just chilling and relaxing and having a laugh at someone else's expense.
Yeah, being bullied.
Especially if you have a crappy day.
Yeah, no, it's fun to take it on people. Now I understand, like, feminists that cancel people on Twitter. This is very cathartic. It's just fucking bashing someone you don't know. I get it now. Anyway, thanks for enduring me, chat. Also, I have a girlfriend. I'm not sure if anyone caught that. Just wanted to make sure everyone knew.
She's a doctor. His wife's a doctor, folks.
She's a doctor and a lawyer, also, by the way. So, you know. But, yeah. Fuck you guys. I love you. Mwah. I'll see you around.
Piss off.
All right. Thanks, Chase. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
What a nice guy.
All right. Oh, Dollface got
So we're going to
disconnected.
kick off the Smudcast chat to fit in Chase.
Oh, yeah, we can add him. That's cool.
No, but like, it's currently full. We got Crazy Philosopher, Dollface, and that I guess it'll have to be one of those.
I'll figure it
Bad
out.
Boy. I don't know how many times does Bad Boy usually come on?
I don't know. Not too often.
Why do we have a limit of 10 people in a Discord?
These are all dynamically generated. I don't mind. We'll figure it out later. Anyway, here we go. Taker 610. Bet on it. Man and woman become antiquated. Oh, that's not cool. That's kind of mean. I kind of like the man and woman dynamic going for humanity so far. It's working out.
Obviously, that's sexist.
Oh yeah,
because reasons.
Yeah. Okay, we got less than 5 minutes, guys. You want to keep going? You want to take a break and call it a night?
I'll keep going. It's only 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh dear. Okay, well it's getting kind of weird now. I just don't know. It's always the last 2 minutes of these things. It just gets so bizarre.
Maybe she'll get to some
Genetic
point.
predispositions to that stuff, because plenty of guys can completely abuse their bodies and not die young of colon cancer, right? Same with breast cancer. Some women.
I'm pretty sure colon cancer isn't caused by abusing bodies. Not like lung cancer. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but like I thought lung cancer was more due to your own decisions than colon cancer.
I want to know how breast cancer is abusing your body. Like, what the hell is that? Like,
yeah, there are many cancers which you can get naturally without abusing your body.
Like, what are you doing to women's breasts that they're getting cancer? Like, that's bizarre.
What causes colon cancer?
Have that breast cancer precursor gene, putting them at a much higher risk.
No one fucking knows what causes colon cancer. Literally, according to this random website I found.
That's a much better indicator of that health risk.
Oh my god! Can I just state few?
Same thing with men. Like, certain more specific genetic markers are a much better indication of medical risk.
Okay.
Than your anatomy.
All right.
And so, treating this idea that doctors need to know what's there. I mean, yes, if somebody has gender confirmation surgery and someone's doing abdominal surgery,
what the hell is gender confirmation surgery?
A doctor knows that. Hence the need for a dignified, normalized transgender identity. All the more reason we need that designation.
Okay, wait a second. She's talking about a stage with multiple stages within it for male to female and vice versa. And she wants a vocabulary to explain all that?
I remember, wasn't it the last Liana K video we watched that someone said, oh, she's better now, she's less insane. I want to point out this video was uploaded, was it last month?
August 31st, yeah. Not too far ago.
Yeah, so I think she's probably still batshit insane.
I think she's just... Well, okay, this is the thing with women. I don't know how often you go out and meet with... This year has been pretty bad for that, but, we go out and meet someone...
I mean, I dated one for a few years, but it's debatable. She was a woman, she was a geek.
Oh, okay. She would fit right in with Liana then, okay. But they tend to ramble and connect ideas very quickly. And most guys sit there and listen to say, I don't know exactly how we're on this topic, but now we're here. And it's not just women you date, it's women in general. I don't know if that's their brains are wired that way, that their feelings react a lot differently than men, but I don't know what she's on about now.
So you just nod and smile.
You nod, you go, uh-huh.
So what you're saying is we should align our society along the lines of the lobsters.
I think we should all go out more often and drink. And we can tolerate things a bit more. Not a lot of booze, just enough. Just so you know your limits.
Who's atting me? James Moore said she was better. Okay, well, James Moore is obviously going to have to be to blame.
By the way, can we only back to the colon cancer? I found here the risk factors that on mayoclinic.org, and in fact, colon cancer can be caused by either diabetes, obesity, smoking, and alcohol.
Interesting.
Yeah, and also there's can be caused by older age, so the older you get, and
Sure.
It's more common around African American race.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, these are all good to know. Nothing's wrong with making sure you're safe and healthy, and how you eat and how you sleep and how you don't abuse your body. Generally, eat well, sleep well, exercise well, and have good mental health. Those are the general 4 rules of life. So, but yeah. Don't drink too much, don't smoke too much, don't eat too much. That's also the general ideas. So, oh dear. I mean, where are we going next? Cancer? A whole new language? What is she going to end on? I wish I could predict this.
Not stigmatized, so people don't have to hide it. So if you're unconscious and go to the hospital, a doctor doesn't kill you trying to save your life. Real simple. We recognize
what? Wait. If you're unconscious and go to the hospital, a doctor doesn't kill you. It's real.
I'm assuming because of the gender identity is shown or some mess like that.
They'll know you're a male, female, so they'll know what to pump you full of something, so it doesn't. What?
That's what I'm guessing she's getting at.
Why would they start pumping you full of hormones that might change stuff that you're already trying to change? I don't understand.
Until we're at the point, people need to be able to keep that part of themselves discreet. And if we had fully digitized medical records, this stuff would not be a problem. Oh, this is this person? All right. I mean, if you come in as a John Doe, problem, but you know what I mean? There's no system that's going to solve every problem. And that's when we get into that, non-binary or sort of other category.
I really don't think that's how medical records work. I really don't think if a doctor knew, he's a transitioning, I think they could figure that out rather quick.
Oh, look, he's got a dick under here.
Yeah, it's just like, what's going on? There's been some surgery here. There's been some, your blood work is coming back like this.
This man has tits.
Yeah, I'd be like, do you know you have
But surely, if they have your ID... And they can, like if you have transitioned, aren't there medical records that explain that?
They will.
You wouldn't need to have. In fact, it's better just to have the medical records than it is to have a word, because medical records will tell you exactly what has happened, rather than a word which could mean, he could have any number of surgeries.
I would imagine nowadays you have digital records, so they'd be shared amongst whatever healthcare provider you're with. So yeah, that would be kind of a given thing. I'm a little confused what she's trying to get towards, because this would be a standard practice. Like it's like, you hit operation for this, you hit operation for that. This is your creatine level. This is your blood sugar level. This is this and that level. It's like, yeah, we get it. We know we're going through a phase. A doctor should be able to figure that out rather quickly. Spielman. ND. I don't even know what NOKs are, but thank you. Are you going to review Dragon Age 4?
We'll just call it Nox.
Nox? Knockbucks? I don't know.
Yes.
Am I going to review Dragon Age 4?
Funky Concurrency and now Nox.
Yeah. I do know the video was released while we were chatting, But I don't think there was much actually talked about. I might cover the video if there's something to look at. I probably doubt there will be. But yes, I do tend to cover most of the BioWare games. I tend to cover any games that have a lot of dialogue and voice acting and cinematics, real-time cutscenes, that sort of thing. Once I get a better computer, of course. But yes, I tend to cover the BioWare games. So thank you, yes.
I understand this as gamers. There's some people that they want to be able to customize their control experience. They always want to remap just something, just because they can. That's them. We understand that, and so we have an option for them. The vast majority of people do not use it, but it's there. Same with people who identify as non-binary gender.
It's not the
It's
same.
a very small portion of the population, but it doesn't take that much.
Is she talking about vocabulary or medical records?
Now, if they wanted a completely different controller design, no. And that's where the reasonable accommodation comes in, right?
What? Okay, because now you've confused me, which is the whole point of this. So you're saying it's fine for someone to be able to change the controller scheme, but not demand a new controller specifically designed for them. But then you're demanding for words to be specifically demanded to fit somewhere else. And I'm confused of how this relates to anything, where the line is drawn, or anything really.
It is hard to follow her.
This is why you need scripts.
Well, this is the last.
I can't tell
2
you how
minutes.
many drafts I've been through for my latest video. Like, I've constantly rewritten it over and over and over again to try and make sure everything's coherent, that I have a point. And then this lady just comes on, has a webcam, just spouts. And then that's it. That's the video.
Most people recognize that she, he, they, them, that covers everybody in some way.
Yes, we know.
A whole bunch of
I'm not
going to
call someone them.
Not
It's
so much.
fucking
The
stupid.
people that can't claim there are
also
23
confusing as
discrete
hell.
genders. I don't think that's functional because choice paralysis.
I'm also not going to call you
somebody
Z,
can
Zay, or
list
any of the
options
other really
to every
stupid
person.
pronouns.
We're in the reality that we're going to have to settle on somewhere between 4 to 6 genders.
I'm
Just
sorry.
because
Why?
of the way that human minds work that we know thus far.
Yeah, but
But
why?
we also have to open it up to the
Wait,
fact
4 to
that
6 genders?
Yeah, why? Why do we have so many? Tell us why. Do you know something about
You explained
biology?
4 of them. What are the other 2? And again, being transgender isn't another gender. It's going from one gender to another. You're identifying as male or female.
identity is in the brain. It's a real thing. It's identified. It's not just a social construct. The same way.
Okay, so this is
I
interesting.
thought you said gender identity was how other people saw you.
Yeah.
And
So the idea here is she's saying that what you are is more than just your perception of yourself. So she is saying there's a biological component, and there's the ideal version, which is like I'm a guy, but I'm really a girl in my head, or something like that. And then we have the perception.
It's like there's the identity in that, but it's still important to like acknowledge that they aren't actually the same as a biological female, I guess, or like whichever one. That for medical purposes, you can't just like it's still a different, I think that's kind of what she's saying, sort of.
Yeah, I'm trying. I think she might be referring to brain chemistry, like the brain, whatever is has enough hormones in it to think it's operating a certain way. So we say, okay, yeah, your body chemistry, your endocrine system, your all these other systems of your body seem to be oriented to a typical female of your build and volume and whatever. Like, okay, yeah, we could say that there's a male with many female characteristics internally or neurologically. Fine. Yes. There's plenty of males out there that don't have high enough testosterones or androgens, and the same for females and estrogens. We get it. Yes. But that does not necessarily mean they want to transition. Or they, even have the capacity.
need some sort of controller, whether it's a PlayStation controller, an Xbox controller, a VR headset,
What?
a Kinect, whatever. You need some sort of interface to play the game.
Okay.
Everybody needs a user interface to interact with the world. That's what things like gender and race and that kind of thing do.
Whoa, race? Whoa.
Yeah,
whoa.
what's going on with race now?
No.
That came out of nowhere.
I really disagree with all of that.
How did we get to race?
I can't agree or disagree because I don't know what the hell she's
I
on
love the way
about.
this is for explained for gamers who are confused, and we're just way
I'm
more
more confused.
part of the video.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Okay, Spielman again. Thanks. Some beer money. Hey, dude, I'm well stocked, but it's always appreciated. I always buy well, and I've been buying Irish lately from the Guinness factory. So yeah, all those jolly good imports. So lots of cream ales. So thank you. Yes, I do post them on Twitter in case anyone's curious. So yeah, I don't know how we jumped to race, but I guess it's another visual identifier that she says that it's a social construct and therefore we can actually no, race is not a social construct.
Unless I don't think she's saying. Well, you would hopefully she's not saying you can be transracial.
Oh,
like that weird woman.
Dear Lord, that would be even more confusing.
We will truly be Cyberpunk 2077 then.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're not playing as Cyberpunk in our lives yet. So it's not a thing. We can't just lop off our organs and just replace them with something superior.
Smud, you're not thinking progressive enough.
Soon.
Yeah.
I want an automail arm and leg.
I want Keanu Reeves in my head all the day. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I can't wait to have that.
That would be awkward.
That would be dude, I love you and all, but not every day. Okay, that's a little too much.
Message coming
Bad
in.
Ghost 4.
Patching it through.
Where is she going with this? Asking as a half black man. I don't. I think the analogy ran its course a long time ago, and she's just trying to throw it back together.
Something to equate controllers to the words and terms we need for gender and all that.
Yeah. If she started describing the buttons, maybe I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. This button does this for males. This does that for females. Like, okay, good. But it doesn't make sense.
Unfortunately, we live in a world where systems throughout time...
Systems, as in technology, as in the biomedical systems?
The institutional institutions.
Surgeons?
Institutionalism.
The natural order of things?
Yeah, cybernetics? What are you talking about?
Society.
Advantages based on certain control schematics.
What?
We have to fix that.
What are you talking about?
By
what?
Making more things that run on certain control schematics.
What? Which?
Certain user interfaces.
Who? What?
But also recognizing that is there a moral judgment? Is there a right or wrong between?
Why? Don't bring morals in here.
Halo,
don't
Call
confuse
of Duty,
things.
Far Cry, Assassin's Creed.
No.
They're just different.
Yes,
They
Assassin's
serve
Creed
different
is
purposes
garbage.
in different scenarios. That's why they exist. There's utility somewhere.
The jump shark
We
after
have to start
Revelations.
looking at gender like the same thing. So hopefully that sort of makes more sense. That gives
No.
Not at all.
Oh, glad she cleared that up for us.
Thanks there, Liana. Lots of sense to be had. That's great. Oh my
So
God.
by her own logic, she's going on the analogy about the control scheme, and now there's a problem. What is the problem? Like, given with her analogy with that, what is the problem with first-person shooter and third-person cover shooter? I don't know.
It's the institutional systems of systemic institutionalism. What part of it? It's the system.
Message coming in.
Gender and race. Oh.
Are you saying there's systemic sexism now?
Systemic institutional systemy.
Okay, guys, this is a great example of when you want to say something in an essay or monologue format, you got to plan it, and you got to make it simple, You got to have a point. You got to have an intro, like a started off like, what I'm going to talk about X, and I think X, Y, Z, and you go through your points and you come to a conclusion of what this means. So it's not just, you know what, I have this controller here, and it's kind of like gender. And gender is when you press this button, this happens for males, and you press that button, it happens for females. So we should have controllers like this, but technology isn't there yet, so we have to wait. Like something along those lines. And
I think there's like at best like a 5-minute video in here that's been stretched to 30 minutes.
So I found out what NOx were and then Norwegian krone.
Okay.
And it's about 500 is about £50.
Shiny, but the transformation like to YouTube happens instantly, so it tells me how much. But thanks, that's cool. I mean, it's good to know.
Well, you didn't know what it was, so I thought I was actually curious.
Someone in the chat mentioned Norway, so I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But yeah, I appreciate that. Spielman, I got nothing to say. We were just stunned. We were just like, I don't know. Is it good? Is it bad? I'm sure as there are more people going under surgery and they don't want like, two giant penises or, whatever, transitioning augments to their bodies to be more male or female, we're going to have some language and we're going to have some terms for those sorts of folks. But right now it's not as apparent, and it's a very specialty kind of operation. Not every doctor will perform it, not every hospital, not every clinic. It's very specialized. So until we get more mainstream acceptance and terms, it's not going to be a common thing. So I don't think it ever will be unless we get to the cyberpunk level where it's like, oh, I could just replace arms and legs because I lost them or maybe one of the things I remember in university we used to have arguments about was when we do get to cybernetic levels or nano machine levels, that would you just replace your inferior bones or your inferior arms and legs with better ones or multiple ones or what have you, whatever tools you wanted? Would you go under that operation? And that's a future transhumanistic view, not transsexual, but transhumanistic of what's going to happen to us. Now that is interesting stuff, and that's what Cyberpunk is awesome about. That's what Deus Ex, the games, were like. These are cool ideas, ethical quandaries, and obviously interesting things to talk about in the science fiction genre. So. Yeah, this was strange. This was hard to get through just because we weren't sure what she was going with. And I don't think she was too clear either. So.
You think?
Yeah. No, it was hard to follow.
This just seemed like a good thought she wanted to put out, but she didn't, think it all the way through.
Yeah, I think
she didn't script it. She didn't try to structure it in any way. She didn't even edit it. She just sat in front of a camera for about half an hour and ranted.
I think she had a script or at least like some sort of notes there because she was looking down for quite a few times. But
I think she was more looking at the controller or had just something on her desk. I don't think she had a script.
I feel like she was trying to improv it by looking at the controller. Like, how can I map this?
It really seemed improv.
It was a lot of going around in circles, it seems.
More just rambling. Rambling would be a better description.
I mean,
and if you structure a video and if you write a script and you make multiple drafts, you're not going to, go around in circles. Because I didn't really realize how much and how important it was to redraft scripts until I made a script, I hated it, it was horrible, and then I redrafted it and I thought, holy fucking shit, this is so much better, and I just kept redrafting it, and it's like you're slowly purifying and cleansing your script.
That's a good way of putting it.
Think about if the points that you're trying to make, like you get it, yeah, but you should try and see if someone else can understand it because they might not think what you're thinking personally. Because you can't give them what's in your head. And that's why, you should write drafts and write it down and just keep looking at it until you feel like, yes, this is exactly how I want to see this and how it will get out clear and precise.
Do you have a sore throat or are you trying to do a Solid Snake voice?
No, I just have a shitty headset.
It sounds like you're trying to talk like this.
That's okay. I do that too.
Maybe I am, Adam.
Okay. It sounds so cool when you do it like that.
Yeah. It's great. Okay, guys.
It really sounds like you have a very terrible sore throat.
Okay, it sounds fine, Shiny. Leave it alone. Come on. Jeez, what's wrong with you?
I like bullying
I
people.
promise you, I don't have the coof.
Let me bully people, Smud.
You mean Metal Gear? No, stop it. That's not silly. That's not fun. Anyway, thanks, guys, for coming in. I think we could all agree that was weird and crazy, and I'm not sure what else.
I'm still confused.
I'm still like, duh. What do I think?
I'm not any
processing.
You could say it was a bizarre adventure.
I still want to talk about the awesome button be related to male, objects, but I guess not.
Press X to doubt, right?
Press X to doubt is definitely a great button to press on our controller. Yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, I want to thank everyone: Chaseface, Dollface, Sarcastic Zach, Roan, Shiny, and Toasty Danny. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and coming on and spending all this time with us. We appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon. I'm gonna have to try a better organizational method to get everyone involved and maybe we'll have a voting for
Message coming in.
or maybe a
Patch it
lottery.
through.
I don't know. How's this going to work when we get people to come on to jump onto a stream? And hopefully topics that you really like. Because I know this is BB's topic, and he wanted to come on and he couldn't make it. So that's like, okay, fine. But he was involved. He was chatting with us in the chat, as well as the Smudcast channel. So I'm going to figure out that a little more cleaner, more efficiently, so we don't fooling around and we have like 8 people in one conversation. Like, it's too many. So, yeah, I'll get on that. But happy Thursday.